We are live.
What is up, party people? A thing I never say. Happy Monday.
Boom, 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 wayo. Is that what you're going with?
I don't know that reference.
Girl, your booty is so round. Let me look you up and down.
No.
I think that's
no,
by
I
the
haven't.
Venga Boys.
That sounds like a song I would like.
I don't know if I ever...
From like
from Come On Ride the Train fame.
Yeah, I was about to say of the Venga Bus notoriety.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Okay. No. Cannot say. I know that one.
You're big on the Venga Boys.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna say big on the booty, but yeah.
Huge on booty.
Yeah. It's a famous big booty man. You know. That episode of Seinfeld was actually based on the adventures of my life.
How that would be.
What in the world did you load into?
You
loaded into the Grinding Gear podcast, which is in of itself loading up. I think you can show our faces now, Kyle. I think it's been long enough.
I'm just not engaging with the camera because I'm pressing a billion buttons. The usual start of stream visual things that I got to do. Here we go. Hi. Hello, everybody. Yeah. Okay.
It's always like you're just being born. You're like a clothed version of Ace Ventura coming out of the rhino.
Excellent. Well, excellent. Well, okay. I think I've hit all.
Don't you mean alrighty then?
I think I've hit. No. This is knockoff. This is base Ventura. Animal enthusiast.
No righty now?
Was he? Oh yeah, I guess he was the alrighty then, wasn't he?
Instead of alrighty then?
Yep. Okay. I have hit all the buttons. I am mentally present.
Huzzah. So happy to have a mentally present Kyle. Although mentally present Kyle is not always on the same level as most of your other friends that claim to be mentally present. Mentally present Kyle is like, I'd say you're about on par with one of my distracted chihuahuas.
I mean, sometimes I'll hit you with a I'm listening or like an and or something like that. Let you know I'm engaged. I'm capable of listening, though I am building up statements. I'll forget half of them. It's fine.
That is fair. That is fair. Yeah. Something that happens. It's something that happens when you do duo stream as much as we duo stream.
Happy holidays, everybody. Hope you're all doing well.
He's doing it again.
Welcome. Well, there's nothing more to say.
There's no holiday has happened. Everybody's just still working, man. Everybody is working.
It's about prep.
We're all just trying to make it to the holidays.
It's about prep.
Let me hit you all with truthful statements as opposed to empty platitudes from a streamer.
Of course.
What's happy about him, Kyle? Well, listen, we all know you're just trying to make it to that holiday break. And we're proud of you. You're doing great. We're just here to tell you you're doing great. You're holding it together. And all that time you're spending right now at work thinking about executing on that Alton Brown turkey recipe. It's a good way to spend your time. Keep your head there. It's a healthy place to keep it.
Just Brian.
And now we're going to take your brain to all kinds of questionably mentally safe locations.
All right. Yes, let's go.
We're like the ride Soarin' at Disney, but we take you to the latest things happening on the internet.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Some puffs of wind, cut the smells. We're cutting costs, all that kind of thing.
Yeah. The elephants aren't throwing the dirt at you in what feels like 3D. It's Quentin Tarantino throwing dirt at famous actors.
Yeah. Is he just done? What's going on there? Like, did he just call it quits?
We'll get there. We'll get there. Are we officially podcasting? Should I hit this big red button?
Live. Yeah, we can be live.
Nice. Well, we got a wonderful show. We got the best podcast we have ever done happening today.
Hell yeah.
That's what's going to be going on. We're going to actually take some damn questions, I promise, because Kyle is not dying of death.
Yeah, that was weird last time. Yeah, that was weird.
So we got people asking questions about Christmas habits of ours, wanting some behind the scenes information on our Expedition 33 review. We're going to talk some Final Fantasy 14 today because there was a huge live letter. We're going to talk about the original cut of Star Wars returning to the theaters. We're going to talk about Quentin Tarantino smearing the names of a bunch of actors that people actually really like. We're going to talk about Walton Goggins and how he's just not going to play Fallout. Doesn't matter how much you ask. But first, we're going to welcome you back to the Grinding Gear podcast. I'm Garrett. He's Kyle.
Hello.
Kyle likes saying happy holidays, and we just started the stream by arguing because I said, no, it's not. We're all just working.
It's being mentally present, you know?
We're all just working.
Getting your presents. You know, I got a tree this weekend, put up the Christmas lights, the decorations, the Fallout.
I took a bunch of skin off of my shin this weekend, building an enclosed litter box so that we can make our house look a little bit better because word came down the pipe that we are hosting Christmas this year.
How merry. Exactly.
This was not a discussion. We were told we are hosting Christmas
You're
this year.
already in the spirit. Look at that.
No, I'm not.
Invite them into your home. They're cold outside.
I'm bleeding and my home is a mess.
If your family's cold, you're cold or something like that. I don't know. Let in raccoons.
Not in Florida, they're not.
Wow,
nope. No, they are not.
It's foggy this morning. That was nice.
The last cold Christmas I can remember was the 90s. That's the last cold Christmas I can remember in Florida.
Okay.
Somewhere in the 90s, which I can only date because I was still living in the suburbs and not the middle of nowhere.
You know, they make places that are cold. You know, it's not... You can go to them too. You can, you know.
Are you talking about air conditioning or are you talking about travel?
I'm saying like travel, you know, it's like the ducks at the park. You know, you can just go somewhere cold. It can't happen.
You can, but like I got old relatives, man. They're not doing that. Like if I want family Christmas, I got to stay where my family is. Like,
do we have a Christmas game this year?
A Christmas game?
Yeah. Like sometimes, you know, there's a big Christmas release. Is there anything like that this year?
Oh, video game.
Yeah.
Usually everything's out by now because they want you to buy it as a Christmas present.
Right. Yeah.
So no, that's kind of it, man.
It's kind of the weird part of my job is I just ask for clothes because they're not tax deductible.
They're not.
Like what am I gonna do?
I have also had that. Yeah, I've had that with Katie. I'm like, hey, there's like game stuff I want, but if you could just buy it with the business card and save receipts.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what am I going to do? Get a Steam gift card? No, that's going on the business credit card. Yeah, that's important.
Yeah. Listen, there's still ways to do it. You know, it's a little. You know, it's not a perfect system, but you can ask your SO to not look at the credit card statement. You know, you can do that. As yep, okay. Login screen for Guild Wars is marginally festive. That's fair. I mean, lots of online games.
The decorations are up in Ogremar or something like that, you know.
Dude, we played Heroes of the Storm last week. They got the holiday splash screen in there. There's a new
butcher skin,
Christmas themed butcher skin.
Yeah.
There's new towers that you and I were completely taken aback by. We didn't know that they had added towers to a bunch of as I fight to a bunch of battlegrounds.
Yeah, there's just towers by the bridges for some reason. You know, strategies.
Blowing my mind. Absolutely blowing my mind. But here we go. Here's how I remembered. Let's just, happy Game Awards week, Kyle.
Okay, there we go.
Happy Game Awards.
'Tis the season.
And the pre-game was over the weekend, apparently. The Streamer Awards happened, which is the first year I've ever a little tiny bit, maybe kind of accidentally paid attention to it.
The Stream Awards, yeah.
I don't even have a bit here, like, haha, I'm old and out of touch. I am. It's just a fact. Like, I don't know what's going on. However, as I've mentioned before, because of preparing for traveling to another country this year, Katie became, for the first time in her life, a fan of notable streamers. So I've been exposed to a lot of popular streamers this year, Kyle. Seen a lot of Iron Mouse, Sea Dog, Ludwig, that whole universe. I don't know what universe to call it because, then I feel like you gotta. You're making multiverse. I feel like I'm making a judgment on which one of them is the biggest if I were to call it,
No,
like
it's a multiverse.
The Mouseverse or something.
Yeah, because then like they all have their individual universes. It's not that Noir Spider-Man sucks. It's just that he doesn't have as many followers as primary Spider-Man.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like Miles's stock is even higher than regular Spider-Man's right now.
Yeah, but the problem there is he's called Spin, but he has electric and invisibility powers, and then you get to Ghost Spider, who has no invisibility powers.
I have to think very actively whenever you say Ghost Spider. That's Gwen, right?
Yeah, that's Gwen.
Spider-Gwen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I get
All
there's like Ghost Spiders that are white and stuff. And
Miles is called what now?
Spin.
When did that start? That sucks, by the way.
Yeah, just his
that is a shit name.
Well, you don't want to call him Spider-Man. Peter Parker's Spider-Man.
He is Spider-Man, though.
I mean, they're all Spider-Man, but they have their own,
It's fine. It's fine. It's like, and yeah, I honestly, I prefer, like, just call it Peter Spider-Man, Miles Spider-Man, or Gwen Spider-Man. Like, that's all fine to me. Just delineate them by their secret identity.
When they're in public, and they're battling the bad guy, and then you call to a team member, you got to use a code name. You can't be giving away Peter Parker or Miles Morales and the.
See, this is why movies are superior, because they simplify. Like, you don't worry about it in Spider-Verse because you just kill Peter Parker, and then Miles is the only Spider-Man, and we move on with our lives. It's great.
Didn't Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 go on a vacation? That's why Miles Morales is, taking the lead.
Yes, yeah. In the video games, yeah, it gets a little more complicated for sure. I really like those games though. Like, damn, I like those games. I do miss the old Peter Parker model though.
So she was watching the multiverse of streaming madness.
Yes, yeah. So I've never really watched streams. It's never really been my I've been too busy doing my own shit. So every once in a while I would watch Day 9. That was kind of it. And Day 9 is from our generation of streaming, which is the beginning, where you were a famous streamer for actually playing games.
But you turn on the camera and you make games content.
Yeah. So this year I've just been exposed to this this brave new world of absurdly famous streamers that are known for a grand multitude of things, and like they might I don't know, it's I'm not going to tell you anything profound, man, because these people are way more well known than we are, but it's like you could talk to someone and they might know them for completely different reasons. Like, they might just, one person might keep up with one of these streamers solely through short form media. Some of them might just know them from their edited YouTube content, and others might just be chilling in their stream all day long. And so, yeah, it's just interesting. So anyway, I didn't sit down and watch the Streamer Awards or anything, but this is the only year I've ever actually even known that it's been a thing, because, it's not even like shade, but when you yourself are not nominated for an award, you tend not to really pay too much attention. So it was wonderfully dramatic and had a lot of high school energy. It was the vibe I was getting from the outside looking in.
Okay, well, theater kids, right? Digital theater kids sounds like.
Digital theater kids, yeah, that's a good way to put it. Also, I was like, the thing that really made me snap into attention was our buddy Marco performed with Iron Mouse at the Game Award, Streamer Awards.
I briefly saw his disembodied head on a screen flying around.
I was so hyped, dude. Like, I don't. Have you ever heard the phrase like, "I can't be proud of you, I'm not your parent"? That goes through my head sometimes when I want to say proud, because like I don't know, it's not a bad word. I'm so freaking stoked for him. Like, that was so cool. We talk a decent amount. We DM every once in a while, even if we're not collabing. I'm like, dude, how'd you keep this under your vest? That was nuts. Like, that's really freaking cool. I was so freaking stoked for him. And then because of that, interacting with social media and stuff, because of the Marco Iron Mouse collab, my feed was just nothing but Stream Awards over the weekend. They had someone rush the stage and do a Kanye I disagree with who won thing.
Oh, damn! Wow.
We've got
Cool.
we've got VTubers arguing about what a real VTuber is.
Any consensus?
God, no. No. No, there's not consensus. And anyone who tells you otherwise it's
not
probably
real,
clip farming.
It's not a real Iron Man suit unless it's made by Tony Stark. Like, what's the... Like, would it be... Because VTubers very, very rarely make their own rigs. So,
yes,
we could easily throw that into the ring of what's a real VTuber compared to somebody. But then you've got the argument of like, the cosplay apocalypse. Remember the big witch hunt cosplay? They don't make their own cosplay. 2015.
Do not remember that at all.
Oh yeah, that was
not something I was ever aware of.
That was dramatic. Well, there was also straight up liars in the room, like people who were filming themselves, cutting the fabric and sewing, and then they'd be like, okay, and then they pass it off to the company that was making it. But they would film themselves in the process.
My understanding, not a VTuber. I have an extremely limited understanding of being a VTuber. But my understanding is the debate is that because Burnt Peanut won, and that Burnt Peanut essentially uses a Snapchat filter, that is not VTubing. That's the argument. I'm not saying I agree or disagree with it. Personally, don't think it's a particularly important distinction. But I'm also not a VTuber, so I wouldn't consider myself even anywhere close to an expert in the field.
Yeah, I'd be curious what a PNG tuber, does it have to fluctuate often enough?
I've seen some folks arguing that like a rig should be involved, and that's technically not a rig. I've seen other people arguing that because it utilizes your real eyes and your real mouth, that makes it just technically not a VTuber.
Huh.
I guess is fine. I again come back to what we talked about when we were discussing this year's nominees for the Game Awards, where I'm just like, listen, awards are their own thing. They're almost never truly 100% democratic. So, like, your personal criteria is kind of irrelevant for complaining about any sort of awards, because it's the people that put on the awards, and whatever bodies decide what goes in what category, it means it met their criteria.
Yeah,
what matters for any individual award ceremony is their criteria, because they're the ones making the awards. So it's kind of where I always come down on this stuff, where I'm just like, I think it's fun to talk about because, like you say, if I was going to make a Kyle pull-string doll, it would say this. It's easy to have an opinion about. It's really easy to have an opinion about this, and so you're going to debate about it on the internet. So I think it's all well and good. Totally fair game. Cruelty-free discourse, unless you're being cruel, I guess. But, yeah, I don't know. Thought it was a mildly interesting debate because I do not have a horse in the race, so it's entirely spectator sport for me.
Interesting. I love that it's taken on such a life that there is in awards. Man, it's dominating Twitch. If you ever just do a scroll down, you go to a game and you just start scrolling, it feels like VTubing is the majority of performance being done on Twitch these days.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's much of an algorithm on Twitch, but I watch a decent amount of Iron Mouse these days, so I'm wondering, is that why I'm getting so much of that thrown at me? Watch Girl DMs clips on YouTube, so I get a decent amount of other VTubers as well.
I think we also, you and I grew up in produced cable news, which is a real face. And by the time it pushes 10 years in the future and you say, hey, have a presence online, you're going to think, first thought, safety. First thought is going to be safety. Our first thought was not safety. It was just my face. It's who I am. This is how we're doing it. Put on your 360 webcam. Let's go. Not the console, a number of pixels.
Yeah.
And let's start making shit.
I do not know.
Seems
I do not know.
I prefer to be a PNG tuber at the very least, a Admiral Boo, a bear being held by an anime woman, if I were to make a choice.
I think I'd want to look like a retro 90s anime character. Like,
well,
I would want to be in the style of like a character from Initial D or something.
Sounds like a steep competition.
Big 90s eyes.
Yeah.
Now, most VTubers I see, I would say they look more like a contemporary anime character. I would want to lean really hard into the retro and maybe even like, I don't know. I've thought about it before. I've thought about it. I'm like, I would love, if I was going to VTube, it would be retro racing games.
Okay.
And my avatar would, my rig would show that. So, yeah. Grinding Gear VTubers win. Thank you for the super vernacular ham. My understanding is, when we're much better off financially, because I hear it's very expensive.
It's a very expensive rig. Yeah, the camera, the iPhone you have to run it for the most part is going to cost you a pretty penny. Also,
is that how most folks are doing it with an iPhone?
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Is the face capture on an iPhone is the most powerful, easiest way to communicate that to your computer.
Huh. Used iPhones aren't too bad though. Like, they're just rapidly iterating, so I'm sure a slightly older one would probably be fine.
What would jiggle on you?
My hair.
Okay.
Hair
Yeah. Good. Well,
yeah.
I'm not saying look disrespectfully or anything.
Maybe like a chain or something.
Yeah. You just need something kind of like fascinating, hypnotic, water-like, waverly to keep people's attention for extended periods of time.
Amazing hair physics. Yeah. Exactly.
Freaking.
Exactly. Yeah. So no, it was interesting, and it was funny seeing articles written about the Streamer Awards being like, oh, it's cringe. Oh, like it was rewarding bad behavior, and I'm like, that's streaming. That's like part of what makes streaming compelling.
Well, it's the aspect.
I'm not excusing it, but I'm explaining why I'm not surprised. There were people rushing the stage and talking shit and all kinds of stuff like that. It's like that happens in non-streaming based awards.
Yeah.
So I don't think streaming's really any different in that regard.
It's easy to assume that you're also dealing with an age group that's in their warring years. It's easy to get riled up in your 20s.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like any award show, I mean, it's a hell of a spread. I mean, there were plenty of people who were nominated that were in their 30s, as much as there were plenty of people nominated that were barely out of their teens.
And it was just streamer. It was all of streaming, right? Not just VTubers, but VTubers.
Correct.
Gravitated.
Yeah. No, there was
towards
like
the top.
there was a VTubing category.
Oh, so it was a minor part of this, but it kind of was a greater contribution of drama than perhaps the amount of the award show.
Well, I mean, like anything on the show, it's what we experienced. So that's what I saw. So I like Iron Mouse. So I catch a decent amount of what's happening in the Mousesphere, if you will.
Interesting.
So that's what I saw. I mean, like the Streamer of the Year was iShowSpeed. So they have
sure.
That was like the big main award, which made all the sense in the world to me. That dude was inescapable this year.
Yeah, he's just going around the world actually doing shit.
Yeah, I would see stories about him on like normal ass news websites. So that made a ton of sense to me. But yeah, it was interesting. Thank you for the VTuber fund donation. Mostly because I'm curious of a GG vid about the process involved in making these things. Tech for this kind of digital puppetry fascinates me. Yeah, same. The I've watched a decent amount of behind the scenes stuff, but like just kind of like because of a personal fascination, not because I'm planning to do it. So I didn't retain a lot of the more technical aspects of what I saw. So, yeah.
This is, now I'm on the website here. This is kind of fascinating. Just all the categories in particular, just near the top here, you have best brand partner. That's an interesting thing to even critique. I feel like this is something you'd easily shy away from. I'd be fascinated for this on like a YouTube sphere. Like, let's all sit around and really rate Factor. Like,
do we really like Casper mattresses?
Yeah. Because those Factor meals do not look tasty. But
no, no, they don't.
Applaud Factor's willingness to let their meals be shown in that light, because you know it's going through a review process. Otherwise, the YouTuber wouldn't get more Factor. So they're okay with that. They know that's what a healthy meal looks like. Perhaps that's what a pulled pork pile in broccoli on the side, looking all wet. That's what it looks like microwaved.
Maybe. Yeah. Also, can't you do that stuff in a toaster? You should do that in a toaster oven.
It comes in plastic, though. I think you'd have to take it out.
Well, you would remove the plastic.
Yeah, I know, but at that point, in the little cover, usually you take your fork. I don't know. I've never cooked a Factor meal, but I'm thinking like an Uncle Ben's like rice bowl thing. Like,
oh yeah, no, like my freezer is 50% of my freezer is ice for cocktails. The other 50% is frozen Trader Joe's food, dude.
Yeah,
yeah, some you remove the plastic, others you poke holes in.
Right.
It depends.
Right.
There's oven-safe plastic and there's not oven-safe plastic.
And it is better. Like, those things are better in the oven, the Trader Joe's orange
Do you think
chicken.
we'll get nominated for best discussion of frozen food for next year's Streamer Awards?
It's something we all can relate to. And Red Bull.
It's easy to have an opinion about frozen food.
Red Bull taking it, I don't know. They seem chill. So that's good to know.
I unironically really enjoy Red Bull. It's probably the number one reason I'm sad that I'm not more famous, because I would love to be sponsored by Red Bull. Yeah, I would just love free Red Bull.
I just never see anyone drink them, out of their little fridges on streams. Maybe I'm coming by at the wrong time.
Clearly you don't watch Ludwig, because it's happening constantly. This is one I was actively rooting for, because I have watched a decent amount of Lily Pichu. I like Lily. Katie's a big Lily fan. We were happy to see her win. I believe that was also controversial, however.
Okay, what's the story of this one then?
Well, it's for best fighting game streamer, and I don't believe Lily competes. So that was controversial for a lot of fighting game fans.
But that would give you a huge advantage on content creation, because competing is a massive time sink.
Yes.
So go win a tournament.
I learned over and over again covering Hearthstone, watching Hearthstone Pro after Hearthstone Pro, going, my life's a lot better and simpler if I just don't compete, and also more successful. So
you go get that award, and you have this award go to someone else who streams. That's silly. That's a little silly.
Also, the award is the category was not best competitive fighting game player.
There's been so much burnout this year in the creator space, like more than usual. I've found best team sport, but just a whole Minecraft presented. I
mean, there's some games. There's some games that are just like freaking huge, man. And you just it makes sense that there's a standalone category.
Just the whole of Minecraft.
One of my favorite categories was they did just best stream game, which I thought was cool, particularly with the Game Awards coming up. And because Expedition 33 was nominated but did not win, and Peak won, which I'm like, perfect. The right game won.
That's fair.
That's probably what I watched the most of. I watched a decent amount of people play Peak this year, because it was just freaking entertaining. It was like endlessly watchable from a streaming standpoint. I was also happy to see, even though we didn't play it, I was happy to see Repo make the nominations, because it was so early this year.
Yeah, I really want to play
that. And I feel it like a big conversation around Game Awards right now is like recency bias, which I feel like Expedition 33 throws a bit of a monkey wrench in, because Expedition 33 has been out for a while now. And also Indiana Jones got some noms, and Indiana Jones was freaking December of last year.
Yeah, that's been forever. And also Dispatch didn't take the whole cake, and that just came out.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that's where a lot of that conversation is coming from, and I think I do agree with folks bringing up Dispatch. We haven't played it yet. We're going to play it this week, which means chat. If you want us to see your messages now, start chatting now, because we are not going to be reading chat come Thursday when we start playing Dispatch. Because, oh my God, seems like nobody is chill about that.
There's been some warnings sent our way, about playing. I'm really looking forward to it.
Did you see the 500-word essay about how you and I don't respect life because of our Expedition 33 choices?
Oh, was that a comment we got recently?
Yeah, totally unhinged, novella about.
Okay, we're not
someone who clearly can handle fiction well.
Okay, first up, we're not going to get into that because that's all spoiler territory. Second,
but it's very much the same kind of energy I'm seeing from at least being warned about when it comes to streaming dispatch.
Yeah, second, which one would be my next question, but it doesn't really matter. Interesting.
Yeah.
There's a duo category. I didn't know. Where was our invite? Damn. With 25 hours streamed. Oh, so you just had to regularly team up. These could be massive streamers who just were a part of each other's lives.
These are I don't. I really only know about Sea Dog and Mouse because I watch them play stuff a decent amount. But it's not like they're a permanent duo. They just collab a lot.
Yeah, it feels
a lot. So much so that they have their own cafe in Akihabara.
If that's the content you're going to them for, it's very easy to find said content.
Yes.
Massive amount of it is whether or not they're dating, but that's auxiliary content made by the outside sources. Best duo. Okay,
it's what people want to know about you and me the most. I mean, it's the number. We need to start an FAQ page just so we can put "No, we are not dating."
Okay, well, let the mystery ride, but they won't believe it anyway. In fact, they would probably find that even more suspicious. Okay, I'm just gonna do some research there. What? Oh, God. Oh, I watched some of that. I watched some of that Streamer University thing. That was not my jam. That was not made for me.
Wait, what were the other options?
I don't know any of the other options, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, Streamer. I watched a little bit of Streamer Games from Ludwig. That was fun. That was fun. I saw none of the rest of this.
Here's the best
Streamer. How do I get invited to Streamer Prom? I miss going to dances.
Streamer
I know
Prom?
I'm almost 40, but what is that, and how do I get invited?
So best VTuber was a stacked category, and the burnt peanut with his real face on a peanut
was real eyes and mouth.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Burnt peanut won, and discourse ensued.
Fascinating.
Yeah. It was interesting. It was interesting to say the least. It was a wonderful distraction while I built a new litter box. But if you would like a wonderful distraction, you can catch additional GG content on our Patreon. Check out supportourbromance.com.
Hell yeah.
Head on over there if you want to support Kyle and myself. It is that time of the year that we do like to remind you of it because it is the time of the year where we get the most people leaving the Patreon. December and January are the worst months for us because it makes sense. A lot of folks are buying gifts and being generous, and I can completely understand making cuts elsewhere. But that means maybe if you're out there, you really like us, you maybe you're not supporting us right now, but it's something you've thought of. It would go a long way if you signed up in the month of December. So check it out. supportourbromance.com. It'll take you right to our Patreon. And let's get into this week's news, Kyle, because there's a decent amount to have a discussion about.
Good. Oh, great news, everyone. Shove it.
And shove it is exactly, Kyle, what Walton Goggins said.
Oh, of course it is.
No, not a direct quote. Not a direct quote. But this was making waves, and it's also easy to have an opinion about because Walton Goggins says he has no intention of playing Fallout, despite starring in the Fallout show. Season 2 is coming up soon. I'd give you an exact date, but they don't pay us. Actually, no, not really. I just can't remember when it's starting. I'm actually very excited for it. I really liked Fallout Season 1. And this happens, Kyle. It happens every time something is adapted. People want to know if you read the thing, if you played the thing, if so on and so forth.
If you're
and
big enough super fan.
Boy, howdy do people like having opinions on whether or not you should be allowed to have a role if you're not a fan of the original work.
Okay. I assume that this will always immediately remind me of the great who should be casting wars of esports circa 2013. Because I personally
watch
more esports than this caster. I know more than put me on stage. So and so should have been the cat. They've got raw passion. They have the passion. This person's been passion, endless passion.
Purity tests.
Yeah, so I'm guessing this is one of those. Like we need to purity test Walter Goggins in his ghoul representation.
I've literally just put this here because I'm legitimately curious how you feel about it. You're my most dramatic friend. And despite the fact that you engage with very little media that involves real actors, voice actors are real actors. What's the word I'm looking for? What's the term I'm looking for here? Face actors?
Yeah, skin tubers. Yeah.
Skin tubers.
Existing
you watch very little live action television or movies.
Okay, yeah, and my professional theater trained opinion would be, I went to college for it and all that. First up, it's the director's choice. The director may tell you, do not watch this. And I believe that's what happened with a good chunk of Last of Us, was the director was the one influencing the actors to not play the game. Because I
believe that is the case.
They were fundamentally their own selves and a representation of those characters. They were not supposed to emulate the game, and with so many choices made differing from the game, it seems like an okay choice in the end. I mean, as much as Joel might have been Joel, that's not Joel. Is Joel? No, that was a Joel. There are many, like Spider-Man. There are many Joels.
There are many interpretations. Yeah.
So
I mean that's its own can of worms. I find it endlessly fascinating when folks are like, "Oh, Marvel, they fundamentally misunderstand Iron Man." It's like, there's how many freaking Iron Mans there's been? You know how many Batmans there's been? Like, it's all interpretations are valid. Like, there are no rules.
Also, he'd probably have a bad time, like Gustav Charlie Cox, right? That's his name.
Charlie Cox, yes.
Yeah. He's like, I'd love to play it. I sometimes play Mario with my son. I'm like, you're gonna have a bad time. It's a hard game. Like,
well, wait, hold on. What if he's playing Super Mario RPG? He might have a really good time.
He might, but
because then he's got the skills.
Fundamentally, like my parents had Mario Kart in their house for years, and they sucked at it. No matter how many times you invited them to play.
My dad was surprisingly good at Rock Band drums.
Okay. So sometimes skills translate over, but I think in general,
my mom owned me in Wii bowling, but if you handed them an actual just normal controller, useless. Absolutely couldn't do anything. But yeah, I just it's an age-old debate that crops up every once in a while of they shouldn't be doing this. They don't. I really can't, especially having seen Fallout myself, like the show. I watched all of season 1, really enjoyed it. I'd have to really sit down and have an honest think, because it might be my favorite gaming adaptation. Because The Last of Us was good, and then season 2 happened, which I think season 2 is pretty awful. I remember at one point liking the Prince of Persia movie with Jake Gyllenhaal, and in retrospect, I never need to watch that thing again.
You can still like a thing without needing to watch it again.
Yeah, I'm not sure I still like it, though.
What is degraded about the Prince of Persia in your mind?
Most of it.
Okay. Just curious if you had anything particular.
The game holds up, man. Sands of Time kicks ass. That movie, I think it was not terrible for its time in an era where video game movies were absolutely awful.
Resident Evil and all that was.
But now we've gotten some pretty good shit, man. Like, we're getting some pretty good video game adaptations, and I think Fallout is one of the best, if not my favorite. But I digress. I couldn't help but I was reading this and just kind of giggling to myself because I was thinking, I can't think of anything that would probably take Walton Goggins out of this universe more than actually playing a Fallout game. Because in the show, they put a lot of effort in. They're using a lot of real sets, props, pretty crazy goddamn makeup. And Bethesda games are held together by the video game equivalent of cardboard and duct tape. But I do not personally find Bethesda games immersive.
Professionally, you just don't want too many voices in your head.
Yeah.
You become the cooks in the kitchen in that regard. And you should not absorb line reads from other people. You should never have, traditionally, a director should never read a line to you. It kind of gets in that situation where you're like trying to describe a person. And let's say they have a giant zit on their nose today. And you're like, the person over there with the hair. And you're like, the one with the zit. Yes, the one with the zit. Oh, my God. And
I'm trying to not say it.
You get in the situation sometimes in directing where you're trying to feed the actor what they need. But whatever you do not say their line for them. That is a golden rule. A lot of bad directors in the world.
Speaking of Speaking of directors of bad attitudes, thank you for teeing me up, Kyle.
You're welcome.
Did you catch any of this shit with Quentin Tarantino over the weekend?
What is the shit and how did it come about?
So, Kill Bill re-released in theaters this weekend.
Okay.
Both of them playing together in a mega showing of Kill Bill 1 and 2. It's rebranded as The Whole Bloody Affair. It includes a new animated sequence that premiered in Fortnite.
Yes, okay, I've heard about this.
Yes. That's now mixed in with the full double feature of Kill Bill 1 and 2.
But that's fine.
And so Tarantino's he's out there promoting it, Kyle.
Okay.
He's out there promoting it. He's out there standing in front of a Fortnite logo wall next to a censored version of the tailgate from the truck known as the Pussy Wagon.
But
because they put the Pussy Wagon in Fortnite, but you obviously can't write pussy on a car.
Okay, so
in Fortnite because the children can play with machine guns, but God forbid they see the word pussy.
Right. Well, that's like, yes. Okay. You may continue. I have opinions about this, but continue.
Yes. Sorry, I'm rambling now because that exactly, chat. Cowards.
The thing that
cowards.
The thing that's weird, and this happens all the time, the pure amount of disco jokes still in kids' cartoons.
Yeah, they were out of date when they were putting them in cartoons when we were kids, but it taught me about disco.
I know, but those clubs were CDAF, like that, the 80s and earlier.
Disco was 70s, but
all the same, it was about the drugs. That was the whole thing. That's why the lights were there.
You said that was the most Alex Jones-ass delivery of it with the drugs I've ever heard.
I still can't do high notes. I still mess up.
It was the drugs.
Hey, the whole time.
The cocaine is making the frogs listen to disco.
Yeah, and I was watching Ninja Turtles with my kids this weekend.
I watched Ninja Turtles with my non-existent kids this weekend.
I want to hear about that, but this is just a small side. And it was an origin story for Master Splinter, and the Krang threatened the baby turtles, and he looked up, and in an off key, it went whir 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 Kill Bill, and then he went crazy and ninja'd the whole room, like you do. So Kill Bill is in children's productions. It is a well-known product.
Yep. I mean, growing up, we had cartoons based on R-rated properties. We had toys based on R-rated properties.
Yeah, comedies.
And in that way, it actually, I like the discordance of Fortnite because it just reminds me of my childhood. I'm like, we had so much shit that should not have been marketed to us.
It's complete madness, yeah.
It's fine. This is the role of parents. Just be a parent. be present in your children's lives. Anyway, so Tarantino's out there promoting because Kill Bill 1 and 2 is back in theaters and this whole Fortnite thing. So he's been doing the interview circuit. Hasn't shown up on Hot Ones, sadly. God, I just want to watch Tarantino try and eat the hottest hot sauce on God's green earth.
Is there anyone who's complained about them adding an animated section to Kill Bill? Like, these are some of my favorite gotchas in the world.
There's already an animated section.
I know, that's my point. Like, that's why that's why he's so juicy. Of someone.
No, I think most folks are clowning on Tarantino right now, and I think rightfully so, because he's taking shots at like a bunch of beloved actors for reasons unknown to me. But because of that, and we can dive into the specific actors here in a second, but because of that, a lot of people are kind of cracking back at Tarantino right now, being like, dude, you literally premiered a new piece of Kill Bill lore in the McDonald's Happy Meal equivalent of video games. Like, you're not infallible. You are not the paragon of taste. So how about you shut the hell up and have a little, just humble yourself a bit.
Is he out there saying like they're not real artists? Is that what's going on? Like,
he's basically he just started popping off on one particular podcast about actors he doesn't like. Which included him talking shit about Paul Dano, Matthew Lillard, and Owen Wilson.
Oh, Lightning McQueen himself. Holy shit.
Can I just say, as someone who does enjoy social media, I don't think we're defending Owen Wilson enough in this triptych. Is it because he's the most famous of the three that people don't feel the need to defend him?
I mean, that's probably,
because I'm seeing so many people got Dano and Lillard's back. I haven't seen one person be like, I, for one, think Owen Wilson. Thank you, Random Red Shirt on Twitch. Thank you. Yes, I also think Owen Wilson is great. I like all three of these actors quite a bit. But I found this so entertaining. I'm not surprised. I really like the works of Quentin Tarantino. Nothing I've ever heard about the guy has made me think that he's a particularly nice man.
No. So it's very much a Terminator guy without the technology.
Terminator guy?
Yeah, Avatar and all that.
Are you trying to talk about James Cameron?
Yeah, James Cameron.
Are you failing to remember the name James?
Because James Cameron is always brought up in like, I'd never do it again, but boy, I would never do that again. I would never make a movie.
Yeah, the difference is like this up until, well, I don't know. I guess up until now, maybe I did think about Cameron and Tarantino similarly in that they're pretty bullheaded, but it's all in service of making the best movie. And a lot of people, even when they're like, yeah, they're kind of dicks, would admit that, yeah, it was the right call for the work.
Right.
But now this week, I'm like, I think Tarantino might just be a mean-spirited dude. Whereas I don't think James Cameron is necessarily. I've never heard a story about him being mean-spirited, just taking exhausting risks to get his films made.
Yeah, it's always, and your tolerance is always different. Like Del Toro told the Hellboy artist goes to him and says, Hellboy wouldn't do that. And Del Toro said, my Hellboy would. Get out. And you're like, man, that sucks. But also, like, I don't know how to feel about that. I respect it at the same time. That's bullshit. Should have told the artist of Hellboy to get out.
It comes down to the ends, right? Like, I think we all give a lot of us, I think, give Del Toro the pass because we like those movies. And there's added fuel to the fire that they've tried Hellboy 2 more times without him, and it hasn't been great. So, like, sometimes it's totally fine to make changes. Like, my favorite example is Jurassic Park because I really like both. I love the book and I love the movie, and they are very different. The movie changed a ton of shit, and it's I think one of the best movies ever made.
So why is he hating on Shaggy? What's wrong with Shaggy? I
believe he called Matthew Lillard boring. I believe he called Paul Dano weak sauce, and specifically called out Paul Dano because he put There Will Be Blood in his top 10 best movies of all time, but said Paul Dano was the worst part of it. I'm like, man, that's...
Oh, this isn't even like sucks. Professional. He's just out there just trashing on people's personal opinions.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. Well, I guess everyone's entitled to have disagreements.
I mean, yeah. But when you're when you're like one of the most well-known directors,
yeah, that's weird.
Your opinion gets shared around a little more than random dude on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I guess he just didn't feel like being professional about it for a bit. Just had a little chip on the shoulder. Weird.
Yeah, this stuff bugs me, man. I like Tarantino movies. I don't have to like, every aspect of every person of the shit that I consume, and in the grand scheme of people whose my opinions have become lower of them over time, this is still not the greatest sin in the world.
Yeah,
but it is just such a bummer. It's just like, I don't know. I put this right up there with learning that Dave Grohl cheated on his wife. I'm just like, shit. I liked you.
Yeah, that one was a real bummer.
It's not even really any of my business, but now I know, and I'm a human.
You could still like think, the recipe changed, like sometimes the recipe changes,
Yeah, because I liked him, because I liked hearing about his like wholesome family stories, and I'm like, oh well, shit, that's all a bunch of bullshit now. So thanks, Dave Grohl. Also, he fired his drummer, and I liked their replacement drummer. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Not what we're here to talk about. But how dare you? I love Paul Dano. I love Matthew Lillard. I love Owen Wilson.
And Owen Wilson's just out there, wiping his tears with the big money that, the Tom Sawyer treasure chest they left at his front yard.
Also, let's be honest, there's plenty of examples of Tarantino acting and not being particularly great at it.
It was campy. It didn't, I can't say it really mattered. I never thought, maybe I did. Maybe I was like, what's with that guy? And someone's like, that's the director. And you just go, oh, okay, no problem.
Oh, okay. Move on.
Like in Lord of the Rings, you're like, what's with the dude with the carrot? Why does he matter? What was that? Is he coming back?
No, I mean, listen, I saw him suck on those toes in From Dusk Till Dawn, and
that didn't
clearly
matter.
That wasn't acting, because that's just the thing he does.
Yeah, that was he cast himself in that role.
That's unfair. He wasn't even acting. That's just the thing he likes doing.
Well, it was method acting, Maybe he didn't know till that moment. We don't know. I didn't even bother to look it up after the fact.
Yeah. Felix in chat says he just signal boosted them to become more likable. I think so. That is definitely what's happening. And then also, we had the sequel to Five Nights at Freddy's starring Matthew Lillard over the weekend, and it destroyed at the box office. So,
oh wow, 63 million. What was the budget on that guy?
I think it was 50 something million.
Okay, so they're well on their way.
More expensive than the first one, and this is just domestic. Was the 63 million? So that's just here in the States. They made a lot more worldwide. So
they're already at 109 million. They're good to go.
Yeah. I still wish they were R-rated movies. I thought the first one was decent. I'm in no personal rush to go see the sequel, but hey, I'm happy to see it succeeding. Also, for some reason, Zootopia 2 is making all the money in the world. I think I saw that it had the closest to meeting Endgame's opening weekend record since Endgame.
I only know it exists because of bananas.
But like the fruit?
Yeah, because they put the little stickers on my bananas that say Zootopia 2, Dole.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm just not exposed to that much advertising anymore. So, yeah. And I haven't been to the theater since I saw Chainsaw Man in Japan. And,
wow.
Dude, by the way, that was nothing but anime trailers before that movie.
Zootopia is almost at 1 billion. Holy shit.
It's bonkers, dude. It made
I mean, people really want to know the will they, won't they.
I remember enjoying the first one.
It was of its time. It was kind of weird, and it was of that. It wasn't Pixar, right? This was a Disney property.
I think that's Disney anime. It's so, the shit blends, man. I couldn't even tell you the difference between the two at this point.
And there was that Breaking Bad part, and it was just kind of an awkward movie.
I remember thinking it was pretty decent.
I was just happy that it wasn't George Clooney.
Oh, it's the Fox?
Yeah, because he got that fantastic Mr. Fox. It seemed like they would just be
I love Fantastic Mr. Fox,
again.
dude. I love that's my favorite Wes Anderson movie. I love Fantastic Mr. Fox. But yeah. Oh, hey, look down there in 6th place, Kill Bill: The Whole Bloody Affair. Hey, take that, Quentin Tarantino.
He just heard about that Five Nights at Freddy's up there.
She's so mad about. I think this is before the weekend. By the way, 4th place, Jujutsu Kaisen movie with over $10 million domestically. Damn. Yeah, almost made as much as Wicked for Good, which admittedly has been in theaters for multiple weeks now.
Okay, I just straight up have a complaint. I thought that was a charity thing, so I didn't know it was a movie.
You thought Wicked: for Good
was just them being like, we're doing a production in theaters for the kids, everybody.
For the kids. It's still on Broadway.
Yeah, it's a long-running thing.
I love that you were just assumed.
It's for good.
You saw a poster, and you were like, sure. I'll paint myself green for charity.
I straight up said, ew, Act 2 has no good songs in it, but Kristen reminded me there is one song I really like in it.
I have never experienced anything from Wicked. I have never seen a production of it. I've never heard a recording of it, and I haven't seen the movie. But I've heard a lot of people talking about how Act 2 is the weaker of the 2 acts.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
In general, the consensus that I'm aware is Defying Gravity is an absolute banger, and as soon as it's over, you can leave so the parking lot's not too full when you try to get out. If that's what you want to do.
Oof.
However, I do really like the Wizard song in the very end. I'm a very big sucker of musical theater where one person sings a song and then the other person joins them for that song, because musically you convince them by joining your tune and then you harmonize together.
Oh, okay.
I really like that.
I don't like admitting that I just kind of have a personal aversion to musicals, because I feel like that's a boring way to live my life, but it is true. It's pretty difficult to get me in on a musical.
Have you ever watched an operetta?
I'm not sure, because I don't know what an operetta is.
Anything where they sing the majority of the time, and even the words that they say are sung occasionally.
Kind of Sweeney Todd would be that, right?
Yes, Sweeney Todd, yeah.
Okay, I have seen Sweeney Todd.
Okay. Because that could be a good way to suspend your disbelief. Start out in operettas, get a feeling for why the emotion is climaxing to such a degree that you must sing. Because otherwise, Oklahoma's a piece of shit. Just
wow.
There's no reason.
Isn't that a beloved? I don't know much about musicals, but isn't Oklahoma beloved?
Sure, but it's also just bullshit. It's not high theater. And oftentimes, for me, you have to reach a climactic reason why you must sing. And I find operettas easier to swallow because you're already singing anyway. You might as well sing a proper song. We're already halfway in the basket. Let's go.
Okay. I do like Sweeney Todd.
And then Graha's in it. Yeah, everyone likes the Graha right now.
I do. I really want to see Book of Mormon. That's someone, but I want to see that because of Trey Parker and Matt Stone. I like those guys, so I want to see what they did. I went and saw the American Idiot Broadway show when it was traveling, because I'm a massive Green Day nerd.
Yeah, comedies are, but again, another easier pill to swallow when it comes to the musical.
Okay, all right. Anyway, my mom's been talking about how she really wants to see Wicked, and she doesn't make it out to the theater anymore. So I'm like, I should probably just host a movie day here for my mom.
Oh, that'd be cute.
Experience Wicked. So Book of Mormon's real good. Okay, cool. We're doing a short little New York trip soon for our Katie and my joint birthdays. So I have been maybe we'll go see a show, because we could. You know what I really freaking want to see? The stage adaptation of Beetlejuice, because that is still on Broadway. And it came through. It's been touring for a bit, but I did check what was going to be showing in New York while we're there, and Beetlejuice is, I guess, still playing. So, yeah. And speaking of still playing, Kyle, before we get out of news, the original cut of Star Wars will finally return to theaters.
Okay.
The non-special edition.
The unspecialized edition.
Well, you got to be careful with that because there was an unofficial gray market version of Star Wars called the despecialized
edition, yes.
Which I would never download a movie, Kyle. But I have experienced it, and let me tell you, it's pretty good.
Oh, well, like the re-edit of episode 1. That's worth doing. It's worth seeing that.
I have not seen that. The one I want to see is who is it? Who's the guy who played Venom in Spider-Man 3? And he was the lead in That 70s Show.
Oh, yes. I always confuse him with Transformers Lad, and that's
I used to do that too, but I no longer. Topher Grace, yeah, because that name is nothing like Shia LaBeouf. Topher Grace has like it's like infamously now apparently recut I think all 3 prequels into a single film and did a showing for his friends, and no one's ever seen it since, and it's like mythical status now, and I'm like, I want to see that. I would die to see that. That'd be really cool. But yes, Disney's doing it, man, but you gotta wait more than a year because it's coming out February 2027 for the 50th anniversary of the original release of Star Wars. Which means I need to be very patient, Kyle. Not because it's more than a year for this, but because I do not yet have a 4K version of Star Wars. And I bet you if they're doing this, they will probably release a physical media version of the original cut.
So it looks like there's no confirmation as to whether or not it'll have the bonus scenes or the changes to who shot first.
That's the entire thing being sold here.
Well, I mean, there's also like the whole freaking dinosaur that walks in front of the camera, so you can't see jack shit for a bit.
The original theatrical cut would not have that, and that's what's being.
Would it though?
No, that is not the original theatrical cut.
Are they going to be willing to show Han Solo, hero of the Resistance, firing first in theaters? In front of the children?
I'm going to push back because there's no confusion here. They are advertising that it will be the original version. There's no interpretation here.
What if, though, there's a change? You know, how classic is WoW classic, you know? I don't know if they can do it. I don't believe this. I don't think they can keep their fingers out of that pie. There's no way. Challenge rating impossible. The ships with something.
I don't know what to say to this.
It's what you guys with houses want, you know, with the market. Don't crash. I want my VHSs to continue to go up in value. You know, I want this version to be shit, so my VHSs. I can't woo.
Your VHS is shit because it's VHS.
Yeah, but it's completely
VHS
original.
VHS is always shit, and it just gets more shit because of degradation.
But it's completely original, you know? I need that value to keep going up.
Your value, it's not going up, though. The only one that's worth anything is the Laserdisc.
I know. I thought about buying that many years ago. I didn't.
Same.
It was like $170. I should have done it.
It was horribly expensive. Yeah. Yep. Well, all right. Thank you for inventing controversy.
You're welcome. The Big McClunky Energy 2027.
Let's also just for a second. Let's come back here into the real world.
Yeah.
I think I'm annoyed picturing a crowd cheering because Han shot first. I think I've lived on this earth with Han shot first being a foregone conclusion of a meme for so long that seeing the original cut isn't going to do too much for me.
But he's going to, right? That's what you want.
That's what I want.
I'm just
saying, I think I'm just kind of tired thinking about the fact that the room is going to erupt into raucous applause.
Yeah, I'm
because the way I feel is just like I think I'm just going to feel a sense of relief. So it's not a sporting event for me. It's something that should have happened a long time ago.
Right. Yeah. I feel you there. It's a little too, I mean, really, it just kind of feels a little too consumer to cheer for that. They took away your bread and then they give you bread 5 days later. No, you should still be mad about the lack of bread. Like hot shot first.
Yeah. I went to that showing of Revenge of the Sith this year because it was like 20 years. I think it was the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. So I went to that and I had a lot of fun because everybody was cheering during the prequel memes moments. But there's something about that to me that feels like modern internet.
There's like ownership.
Han shot first feels like it's not pre-internet, but it feels pre-modern internet. That's like if you wanted that shirt, you had to go to a con and find some random dude with a screen printer selling a Han shot first shirt. Like it's just been so long, man. I'm just ugh.
No, I know exactly what you mean. When I went to the Ren Fair and there was a lot of people in D&D shirts, it didn't hit the same. Because owning a D&D shirt in 2003 meant that you were at a place, you created it yourself, you were willing to wear it in publicly and, possibly go to Walgreens at the end of the Ren Fair still wearing that shirt. You took a risk.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I want to be clear. Like, it's not a gatekeeping thing. It's just that, like, my enthusiasm is not in the same place. Because, before, I like it when shit gets popular. I like it when things that I enjoy are a lot easier and more accessible to go and experience and find additional things of.
What other changes are there?
But there is something.
One of the big ones. I mean, other than like
for New Hope,
other than what I thought was TIE Fighter force fields when I was a kid, and that was just the green screen around them.
You can still kind of see that shit, by the way. I mean, I have the Blu-ray of the special editions, and you can still kind of see the matte on the ships flying through space. There's a lot of 3D ship shots that were added.
Oh, like additional ship. There were more ships added.
There's some big hero shots of the X-wings leaving Yavin heading toward the Death Star. That are just completely new additional scenes, and they're fully 3D rendered. So that was added. Like that stuff doesn't bother me as much. It's like that shit ass Jabba the Hutt additional scene that they have changed like 5 times since, and it still looks like crap. That bothers me. Han not shooting first bothers me. I don't really need the additional CG critters running around Mos Eisley, but like in the ranking of the biggest sins in the changes to A New Hope, that's pretty low for me.
Yeah, because Uncle Owen and Aunt Peru, they're still just cooked out there on the desert, regardless of addition.
Yeah, that's part of the original cut. I saw a funny tweet this weekend, which was like, I can't wait to see people up in arms when things are removed that they didn't realize weren't a part of the original cut. Because that'll probably happen.
It will be otherworldly, yes. I know the exact Yavin shot you're talking about where they really established the size of the Rebel force flying towards the Death Star. And without that, you are missing some information.
It's just a big hero shot of like the X-Wings. Like that doesn't bother me as much. But yeah, the big ass Ronto that walks into frame during Mos Eisley. It's just, you just don't need it. You don't need. I think they copped in Sepulba or one of like a Doug that looked like him. Also somewhere in Mos Eisley.
I know they had the nose robots. They added the
the pit droids,
the little womp rat dudes. The thing roaring at people as they walk into the cantina.
We have to return to the guy in the fur jacket, Jabba. No, so that's a deleted scene. That was never actually in the original cut of A New Hope.
Yeah.
So that's a good example of things that I'm sure the internet will think is missing, but was never actually in the original cut of Star Wars.
My favorite part is when they grab Harrison Ford's PNG and move it up a foot
I hate
so he
that.
can step on the fake tail.
So it's so ass, man.
Yeah.
Like you don't just. It looks worse than anything in the original cut with all of its hokey old school special effects.
We've been through a lot around here.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of remasters, have you seen the news about Mad Men? I did see that. Yeah, like the new 4K version of Mad Men went up on HBO this week, but apparently there were just scenes where the special effects weren't put in, which you don't think of Mad Men as a special effects show, but they like there's a famous shot that's been going around this weekend on social media because it's a scene when a character vomits and they painted out a crew member with a hose that's visible in the background.
That's amazing.
But the version that went up on HBO is completely unaltered. So you see the hose running up the dude's leg. You see the crew member with the machine. It's just plain as day in the shot.
That's wonderful. Oh my God.
Yeah. Which honestly, that's pretty cute to me because that makes me go, oh, you actually did put in the effort to go and find the archive, like original footage that you're now bringing up to 4K.
Right.
Which I respect that. It's a goof. It's a pretty funny goof. But to me, that's actually a really good sign that they're putting the work in to do a proper 4K restoration. So, like, actually, I thought that was pretty damn adorable. I think that's pretty cute.
The wear and tear on the Enterprise and that recent version they put out.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, well, I don't know. Maybe they'll move on to releasing the unaltered version of Empire and the unaltered version of Return of the Jedi.
And then I
can't really. What the hell did they change in Return of the Jedi besides adding Vader saying no?
Wait, Return of the Jedi, he says no?
When he goes to pick up the Emperor, Vader yells no.
Huh.
Oh, yeah, the whole damn dance number. They changed the song in Jabba's palace.
Oh, yeah, with the goober, yeah thing. Yeah, we get something in the camera. Yeah. Granted,
and they changed the end song as well. Yeah, it's like not Yub Nub anymore.
Yeah, they got rid of Yub Nub. It's more of
never mind. Yeah, I also
heavy.
hate the Return of the Jedi Special Edition. Never mind. All of those are net losses as far as I'm concerned. Oh, and Anakin's Force Ghost. Yeah.
Oh, you know what was a good change? My favorite change in all the original Star Wars was adding windows to Cloud City. That's a good change.
Were there not windows?
Yeah, every corridor, it's just plastic walls. The second you step foot into Cloud City off the
I'm fine with
runway,
that kind of stuff. That's cool.
It's just plastic always, whole way.
I'm going to be completely honest, didn't mind them adding in prequel planets to the celebration scene. I wish it was still the Yub Nub song, but I was fine with that. And you add a couple shots in because they're like completely additional shots. You're not like mucking with pre-existing stuff. Sure.
Wasn't there originally like a shot of Coruscant? We just had no freaking idea what it was. It was just like some random ass art city that got scrolled by.
I want that to be true. I don't think it is.
This might be one of those.
There was a shot of Coruscant? Holy shit. Oh, damn.
But you just didn't know what it was. You know, it just didn't make any sense.
I don't remember that at all. I do not remember that at all. But okay. All right. But yeah, Anakin Force Ghost is another big one. Oh, Eric, thank you for the supers during all of this. One was just a happy holidays, and the other said, kids have the internet now. They're buried beneath an avalanche of fluff and violence. All censorship seems like locking the barn after the cows have left. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I return to my thought of like, that's what parents are for.
Pizza Monster scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. It was like
what, in Spaceballs?
No, an Alien in Ninja Turtles. There was a aliens like monster made of cheese that would come out of the pizzas.
Oh, I do vaguely remember that.
You know, yeah. I think what you do with that is you call starting a dialogue. You go to your mom and you say, "I saw something scary," and you start working through it.
Yeah. Huh. Go figure. Well, you want to talk some Final Fantasy?
Let's talk about Final Fantasy.
We got Live Letter 2 for 7.4.
Live Letter 2.
We have seen a trailer. We have heard a lot of music. A lot of music about 7.4. And I just had an all-around good time.
Oh,
I think this is the most lost I've ever been in terms of where we're going story-wise.
Makes sense.
Like, short of, I guess, the announcement of Dawn Trail. Like, when they announced Dawn Trail, I was like, huh? It probably didn't help that I hadn't finished Endwalker yet. But I don't think it got better when I finished Endwalker. I was still just kind of like, we're going to the beach, I guess. I don't really know what to expect from this. And I feel the same here. You know, the characters that feel like they should be involved are still involved. It seems like we're still dealing with some Alexandrian concerns. But dude, so much of that trailer just focused on the Arcadian, the raid, the final raid wing of Dawn Trail.
It's the hype thing to get everyone back for. Absolutely. And they tend to do this around that time. You know, you remember the end of the Pandemonium, really kind of taking the poster light, as it were.
Pandemonium is one of my favorite things in the game, in the whole of Final Fantasy XIV. And if you are hearing the sound of my voice and you like the narrative of Final Fantasy XIV and you haven't done Pandemonium because maybe you skip raid content, I really cannot implore you enough to go and do Pandemonium. It is required reading if you like the story of Final Fantasy XIV. It's so freaking good. But yeah, man, did you have a famous guitarist makes a random song for Final Fantasy XIV on your 2025 bingo card?
No, I can't say that I did. And they even have it here on the website. Like, they're making a big deal about all this.
I believe every word that Soken shared on the live letter about being a massive Rage Against the Machine fan.
Yeah.
I buy it hook, line, and sinker. I don't think he's gassing us up for any reason. It
seemed like a cute crossover given the story that was told about how convinced via board gameage, Tom Morello was sending over a song just to be like, yo, I think this is a hit. You should put it in your video game. And that's about it. That's the story.
It's wonderful, and it's how you wish celebrities behaved, as opposed to, you know, maybe talking smack about other celebrities. So
it reminded me
prefer this.
That Rage Against the Machine exists, and that there was a time when, thanks to Tony Hawk, I knew at least 3 songs, and I enjoyed them immensely.
They had a Rage song on Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, I believe.
Never played that one.
Oh, really? Oh, dude, it has like some pretty hardcore RPG mechanics.
I played 3, and I had a custom radio file. Or you could go into the folders and put your own music in the game.
Oh, so you played it late because you were playing on PC, it sounds
like.
I
was PC.
Okay, yeah, because that PC version that took forever. I was like waiting on the PC version of Halo. Thank you for supering just because we repped Pandemonium.
Fair enough.
That's fantastic. We're just gonna farm supers by saying fan favorite things in Final Fantasy XIV. Woo! Emmett Selk.
Well, it's not a bad, hey, you know, it's not a bad YouTube philosophy to make a channel about things you like. Okay, I think that's a good thing to start with. To go there,
woo, the roommates
show some merch out there.
Yeah, where are my Garuda fans? Yeah, where's the Garuda fans at? Let me see you.
I ain't got much in range here.
Who remembers Endwalker? Yeah, woo, Endwalker. Yeah, I got a whole stack of coasters here.
You're just gonna keep going.
Go on for way too long, for a while. And it's not going to be great for the audio audience. So please stop me.
I think Music is a great place to have guests. I think that we should do more of this video game awareness. You know, get it out there, get the name out there. Music's a huge part of Final Fantasy. Having a guest song in there is a great idea. Let's put some Sabaton and Gloryhammer in there, please. That'd be wonderful for me, just for me.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest grump about crossovers. I know there's a lot of grumpiness towards crossovers these days, but it still is not lost on me that like my brain still does a little bit go, this is what crossovers used to be like. It's just random meetings of people that just happen to know each other and then they end up doing a thing together, as opposed to the Fortnitification of so much of what we experience these days. Even though I don't really mind the Fortnitification of things all that much.
I think Fortnitification ultimately, you know, being undramatic here comes down to a level of FOMO. that you have to participate in the crossover to get the thing that you may have wanted from forever ago. Limited printings. This is just in the game and forever. It's not an issue.
Yeah, it's not going to go away.
You
It's
get
not,
to
yeah,
keep it.
like Fall Guys has already come back once and already left once. Like, you know, it comes in, it goes away. Like, yeah, this is nice. It's always here. I mean, there's other crossovers that do stay permanently though. Like, you can go fight the freaking Rathalos whenever the hell you want.
Yeah,
in Final Fantasy 14. So they're kind of choosy on what is and is not always available.
I like when RPGs have guest writers. Those are always really fun, like a Kickstarter goal where a character will be added to the game written by a certain author is super duper fun. We got that, I guess, with Boja, but there was that weird falling out thing that never saw it to completion. And so it became a PowerPoint presentation on the way out.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite crossover is usually in music. I really like when there's features in songs. Like it and it was a rare thing for a bit with like shit that I really liked listening to in high school. Like it didn't happen in punk as much. But then suddenly, like out of nowhere, it started happening. I mean, hell, I really like Run the Jewels, and Zach De La Rocha, the singer of Rage Against the Machine, has collabed with them a couple times, and that's always pretty freaking sick when he shows up. So,
no, VTubing crossovers are very much built on music, as you may have noted from the Marco Iron Mouse collab.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There seems to be some sort of musical combination that happens when VTubers get together.
That does. And one of my favorite times collabing was when I got to be in a Husky video.
There you go. See, you've musically collabed.
Musical collaboration, which hit me up because I guess we're also getting a pop punk song in in Final Fantasy 14. So
for the surfers, yeah.
If anyone's covering that track, hit me up. I am down.
Let's see.
I was very excited about that.
Oh, I
did not see these pets. Holy shit, those
I didn't
are
know
cute.
we're getting like a straight up German Shepherd, and then not really a Scottish fold, but one of those squat little kitties.
Yeah, just a puffy boy, puffy boy. It looks pretty hype, man. I'm excited. I'm ready to get back in there. Get my 14 on.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a little 14 action in our charity stream as well. So keep an eye out for that.
Yes.
Just waiting on a schedule lock in, and then we can announce who the hell we're collabing with for our charity. Oh, can we?
Yeah. Well, let's just say I think we can say we're doing it.
So charity stream, and also our last stream of the year, will be happening Tuesday, December 23rd. So join us for that. I think we're going live around noon.
Yeah,
and we'll be streaming all day
for the kids.
Doing our charity stream for Extra Life for the UF Children's Hospital in Gainesville. Be there or watch it on VOD at your leisure.
That can happen too.
But yeah, man, I liked this live letter. It was interesting after the fact because like Katie was like, hey, so like what happened? You know, what's coming up? And actually, like, kind of struggled to think about like the big things. I've mostly just talked to her about music. But like, I don't know. I was just kind of taken aback because I was like, well, I didn't really pay attention to the first live letter because I was traveling. But I still felt like I kind of knew most of what they were talking about through osmosis of just existing on the internet. So I didn't have like, oh my God, new shit hype, but I did leave feeling very good about what's coming in Final Fantasy 14. So I don't know. This is a strange one. Am I explaining myself well? I feel like I'm not.
I'm sort of. It was a weird live letter to be hyped about because the hype things you can communicate very quickly, which are things you already knew were coming. They just are with a nice fresh coat of paint or music on them, and they look like they're very well made. The majority of the actual live stream was spent on technicalities, whether or not it was how the in-game board worked or how a new PvP map is going to work. And that stuff is absolutely 100% understandable from a developer. I'm passionate. I've spent a lot of time on this perspective, but there ain't much to say about it at the end other than I hope it works and I hope it's a great tool so we can share those links and communicate in game how we're about to do this fight.
Yeah. It's one of those things that I if it was any other feature, I think I would have felt like, all right, you've spent too much time on this. And I did feel this way about chat bubbles a few live letters ago. I was like, I really didn't need 45 minutes on chat bubbles. However, the raid planning tool, that's a big new technical addition. And it's much more capable than I was expecting. I don't really know what I was expecting, but it definitely wasn't what they demoed.
It had the bare minimum of features that are absolutely required, even though we may not have thought of them, like being able to showcase what the raid leader is making and move things around in some sort of real time. Much like the chat bubbles, basically that entire multi-stream rundown could be reduced to, we don't want this to be annoying, and it's very easy to make annoying things. The end. But God, if you're in there, you're in the trenches day after day making sure that's not annoying, I'd like to talk about it. I'd certainly want to get on the horn and tell everyone about how hard I've been working.
How do you feel as someone who, after we have raided, has come to the realization that you don't find top-down mini-map strategizing to be as visually helpful as just watching someone from the view of a player do the fight?
You talk about like excitement for the tool itself?
Yeah, because the tool itself is like straight up. Like, if anyone watches guide content to learn how to raid, like if it is top-down, you are looking at an image of the arena as seen from essentially the mini map, or if you watch guide content for Final Fantasy 14, it looks like a Hector guide. You are building your own Hector guide that you can collab with other players on. Because I like top-down explanations. I almost always prefer it.
I think it'll be helpful in correcting mistakes because it's so easy to memorize poorly. And I think much like Shakespeare, it is your greatest battle. It's not saying the lines or doing the thing. It's, did you memorize your lines correctly? Because once they're in there, they're going to be repeated incorrectly. So hopefully, the raid leader sitting you down and being like, you're here, you need to go here instead, will be enough to get that done and clear up that miscommunication that happened in your own time.
Yeah. I completely understand. Yeah. No, I dig it. Plus, at the end of the day, dude, once we got to like the harder Savage fights, it was just like, you so need to break it down mechanic by mechanic that it's like guides are of questionable helpfulness. Anyway, it's more about kind of starting to get everyone on the same page. But after that point, it is just repetition and seat time.
Yeah, well, a big part of Final Fantasy learning is done in game and through those paper guides because there just isn't the industry of a World of Warcraft per job guide. You can find, and that's what I had to do is I look up Astrologian this fight. There was no teaching there. There wasn't, 200,000 views on it. It was usually like 5 views, maybe 25. And that's not a critique on the viewership of the game necessarily. It's a critique on the identity and how the game is played, which is essentially like everybody else. Everyone's doing mechanic. So there's very little value in creating a druid-only guide to the Hell Chamber like there is over in World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I mean, that was something I noticed very early on when I started playing Final Fantasy 14 was that guide content and just fan site content in general. Like, there wasn't nearly as many options or even as many guides, just period, to go. I mean, you've got, like, if you're a WoW fan, you're probably aware of Icy Veins, and they have a pretty decent Final Fantasy 14 site, but I mean, you look at WoW, like there's a ton of resources to pull from.
And for me, it's people. Like, that's where I really learn, is from a fellow human being. And when you go to something like Wowhead, you find a guide, you scroll to the bottom, it says guide written by X player on X team. You click on that link, it takes you to their YouTube where they make exclusive shaman guides every single day for every single change that comes out. But because of, to put it in a word that might seem villainous, homogenization, but it just means everyone's doing the same thing. Everyone mechanics. You don't have that community and infrastructure for learning available to you. And I think that this tool being in game and on your screen too, like real estate wise, is going to be really helpful.
Yeah. But thank God for streaming, I guess, right? Because like you can probably find a streamer that plays your role.
Right. And find that 20 view video to give you the rundown about what their play looks like and where they're healing in those interactions.
Yeah. Sounds good for Blind Extreme Prog. I think it's going to be good for all sorts of things.
It's going to be super fun. Obviously there's energy to bring out the whiteboard for fun, but doing it in game is going to be super chill and communicate to a lot more players very quickly. Plus being able to save and share it around, compare, contrast quickly will advance strategies and simple link changes. Because guess what? For good, for absolute good in this universe, you can't update a YouTube video. Can you imagine? there's a lot of weird shit that could be done in a world where you could upload one thing, declare it live, and then change the video out. Would it be nice? Yeah, yeah. Would it be villainous? Oh,
yeah, it would be nice. It would be like, I go back and forth on that constantly, man. And my desire for YouTube to add the option to save over a video is admittedly entirely selfish, because I think I will use that power for good.
Right, to fix an editing mistake.
I will use it to fix spelling, to to make a slight tweak. But others, they're the reason we can't have it.
We can't have nice things. And I think we might be able to have nicer things if a code gets updated at the end and bottom of a video. And then you enter that code in the game, you go, there's been a change. And then you got to go read the comment, because so much we hear about rating Final Fantasy is that is immobile. The worst strategy is made the quickest and is everything that everyone does forever.
Yes. I do kind of like that, though, because it's a really strong example of everyone doing the same strategy is more impactful than people doing what they individually think is best.
And twisting it for yourself is a fun aspect of your cooperative gaming experience.
Yeah.
8 consenting adults in the same room are willing to make changes.
You've seen videos that have been edited, but could tell because timestamp comments were all messed up. I mean, you can edit a live stream. You can not edit well,
you can cut
hold on, because they have that editor.
Yes.
You can cut parts out. That's it. You can't add in. Yeah, no, they do have a cut feature. It's awful, by the way. It takes like a full day if you use the YouTube's editor to like cut something out of a video or a stream. It can take upwards of 24 hours for it to populate.
Right, and
if it's a stream, it kills the chat replay.
Yep. There's a number of issues with it, and some creators are very diligent. They go through when their factor advertisement run ends, they go back and they edit out the factor part. That's cute, but so many times it's just about getting on to the next video, not spending those hours updating an old video for whatever reason.
Plus, YouTube has that thing now that when you press skip on an ad, it's just like skipping over commonly skipped section. Like, okay, thanks, YouTube. Here we go. Kyle, have you noticed that in YouTube land that everyone made sure their ads were longer than 45 seconds?
So that the skip doesn't work?
Yeah, because all podcast players, the skip is like a universal 45 seconds. And I don't know about you, but I have noticed, because it used to be like when we were selling ads on Into the Nexus, like it was usually for a 60-second spot. And so 2 to 45 seconds would get you past a 2-minute ad read if they had 2 ads back to back, like perfectly. It seems like almost everyone universally now, every podcast I listen to is doing 90 seconds so that it doesn't come out as cleanly.
Oh, interesting.
You're always catching like the tail end, which is, listen, it's an arms race, man. And I applaud I applaud the strategy change.
Yeah, that's messy. Huh.
So, Yeah, it'd be interesting to see Japanese strats versus EU strats versus US strats and be able to easily import the regional strats. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's already like if you're already using any sort of like raid tool or raid strategy tool in Final Fantasy 14, like it's still relatively easy to check out a different strat. But I'm hopeful that this will make perusing other strats more common in Final Fantasy 14.
And that compare and contrast and being able to adapt to your own group. Yeah, I think it's solid. From what I've seen on the internet, it is very much a more of the same patch. I think the MSQ is going to continue to go at the MSQ pace, which is to say they are dungeon mastering and they're always very concerned about where everyone is exactly where they should be and tying up loose ends to a full degree. Production wise, I think they should have just thrown the switch and said, let's go to whatever the next thing is. But they want to build up. Also, I see real sweaty. I see real sweaty here, real sweaty of Lalafell. And, that just means they've been watching modern anime because everything in freaking anime right now is represented by sweating. Everyone's freaking sweating. Every 5 seconds in solo leveling, somebody's sweating. Like 90% of emotion is shown through sweating right now.
I've seen no sweating in the new season of Spy Family.
Well, at least they kept to their previous style. It wasn't a very sweat-heavy production.
Okay. I don't think I've seen any sweat in the Jujutsu Kaisen I have watched. I don't think I've seen any sweat.
That was 2018? You're in the past still.
Started. Okay.
Solo leveling was so sweaty. Everyone's so freaking sweaty.
Last night we watched the first episode of Lil Miss Vampire Can't Suck Right. I don't remember seeing sweating in that.
Wait, was that a show or a episode?
That's an anime. That's an anime.
Can she not suck right?
She can, in fact, not suck right. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It was a weird show, man. I think we're going to keep watching it, though.
Oh, well, that sounds fun.
It was bizarre. Very bizarre. Unlike anything we've ever watched. But literally, we were just like falling asleep, scrolling through Crunchyroll, and we were just like, what the shit is this?
Yeah, we go through phases. Like, I would say about 5 years ago.
It is pretty cute. All right. Bob in YouTube chat has seen it. Yeah, no, it is pretty cute.
5 years ago was like ugly crying. Everyone was ugly crying. It was all about accurately representing people with like boogers coming out of their noses, not like Sailor Moon.
So the brother in Spy Family.
Yeah, but like straight up, just like gooified head.
Gotcha. That's a One Piece thing. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, no, but it's like a high school in a world where like just like traditional monsters just kind of hang out and they're people too, and they got to go to school.
Okay.
So there's like a new vampire student, and she doesn't know how to suck blood.
How's she alive?
I watched one episode. I don't know.
Okay, I'm just curious.
But a classmate befriends her and becomes her practice bloodsucker.
Oh, I can see how that situation.
And she turns into like a tiny, like chibi version of herself anytime she's sucking blood, and it's very cute.
Okay, a fine way to represent it.
Yeah. It was wildly bizarre, but we laughed a lot. So we'll probably watch more of that. But you want to talk about? Speaking of which, you want to talk about what we've been playing, what we've been watching?
Yeah, let's do that.
We played some new old shit last week.
Yes, we did.
Let me tell you, dear folks, dear podcast listeners, if you do not watch us stream, first off, you can catch us on twitch.tv/grinding_gear over on the Grinding Gear YouTube. We stream live simultaneously to both What Up Twitch and YouTube viewers right now. I agree, Random Red Shirt. Wowhead is very useful. But last week we played Guild Wars 1 because Guild Wars Reforged dropped, patched, released.
It was a patch. I thought it was like a full-blown re-release, but no, it was straight up just the game got an update, a graphical update, as many MMOs do.
Common misconception, is that it's a whole brand new game. But no, it was just like a big modern update to make Guild Wars 1 play really nice with like modern PCs, modern OSs, modern monitor sizes, because my understanding is like it was not trivial to get this shit running on a 4K monitor before this update. But yeah, we did we did a solid 5-6 hour stream of it. I had so much fun, dude. it's the holidays, so my spare time is extremely minuscule. I 100% would have played more of this on my own time if I wasn't exploding my house to prepare to host family Christmas this year.
I mean, it was cozy. I mean, there's no getting around that.
Pretty much all I've been thinking about since we did it. I love this kind of shit. I miss this era of gaming so much. And I think you meant it as a joke, but dude, I at some point in the stream, Kyle said, dude, they just make more MMOs. Make them look like this if you have to. Like, all that's happened this year in the realm of new MMOs is new MMOs have been canceled, have been defunded, have been studios have closed. It's been a really dark year for the future of MMOs as a genre. And I'm just playing Guild Wars 1, which you could even make an argument isn't even really an MMO because it's more like a Diablo or a Phantasy Star like, but it's an online game. And it's like, make your games uglier. I don't care. I don't need GTA level fidelity for every game I play. Just make some new, brave, strange attempts at MMOs and bring the graphical fidelity down if you have to.
There's two things I've been thinking about a lot recently. The first is Jesse had a short about the hierarchy of nerds and how
I haven't seen this. I watch a lot of Jesse's shorts, but I missed this one.
Yeah, he talks about how he's always surprised how when an anime game, like an anime style game, comes on screen during an award show or a trailer show, how there's always barf faces in the chat. Like so many people posting barf faces. And at the very bottom of the nerd hierarchy, where at the very, very top is like people who play like FIFA, and they think everyone below them is a nerd. The bottom of that is anime style RPG players. And it made me think about my own assumptions I make, because we'll go like, I don't really like the style of this on our own streams. People are like, man, they really need to open their minds. And I've been thinking about that a lot recently. And I have an answer. It's because I played those games when I was younger and they were shit. They were always very cheaply made and had tons of bugs. And they weren't worth playing. So I've carried that forward.
I don't know. That's not a comparison I would make at all. It's like, what are you talking about? Because like, I don't. You played. You played Skies of Arcadia. That's an anime themed game. You loved that game.
I did.
You would extol its virtues. So I don't even think what you said is. I don't think you're lying to us. I don't think you realize how inaccurate what you're saying is based on even your own words on this channel.
No, absolutely. But like Code Vein, I think it is like that would look like a Dark Souls. And then they took off their face mask and there was an anime face. And my initial reaction was, ew, why would you do this? Why would you ruin a perfectly good thing? We had a nice Dark Souls aesthetic going on. So I've been thinking
it's not Dark Souls, so it doesn't need to look like Dark Souls.
I've been thinking about this a lot recently. However, the complete side note, though slightly related, because there's a lot of anime style MMOs that come out on mobile every year. Secondly, I watched a video by the Lazy Peon, just running down where's all the MMOs. And he made a very good point that they're expensive. And when you go to make a video game of note, one that's going to be advertised and well received in America, you have to do it in California, or so the assumption is. You have to have a brick and mortar location. You have to.
Dude, what is this video? I want to watch this.
Look up the Lazy.
I've been thinking a ton about that because we're getting a bunch of new MMOs, but they're from Eastern Studios, and it's such a different player base in what they expect as a business model from their MMO.
Right.
Like what we consider pay to win is just kind of the norm for a lot of online Korean games, for example. And so like we just got Ion 2. I played Ion 1. I really enjoyed it back in the day. And so like I was reading up on Ion 2, and the reviews over here are saying it's complete trash because it's just a pay to win microtransaction hellscape. But that's pretty much like any online game coming out of Korea because that's the business model there. And so
and his point was even more interesting. It was that they don't build in Anaheim. When they sit down to program a game, they do it locally inside their own country, but in a studio that has no notoriety, has no heavy upfront costs or location requirements. So you've already cut off a huge amount of money there.
Cost of labor is also typically lower in a lot of other countries compared to the United States.
And then when you have that Anaheim made extremely expensive product, it now comes with the expectation that it has to perform as an expensive product. Whereas a 5 out of 5 MMO coming to the States, it made its money back if it's from Korea or China.
I need to watch that.
Now, those two thoughts, they're not exclusively together, nor are they exclusively apart. It's kind of an interesting in between because I've seen so many people playing things like Wuthering Waves, I think is one of them. All my entire algorithm is showing me. Actually, I just had it up earlier because some other product was yelling at me for it. Yeah, what was that? The stream? No, here we go. Enfield. Like my algorithm is like, yo, a real-time strategy RPG. You love those. And I'm like, I do. I'm not sure thigh highs are associated with StarCraft, but I'm kind of interesting, I guess.
Kerrigan has carapace thigh highs.
She has high heels and all of her thighs.
That chitinous plating goes like all the way up to the high thigh.
I think it's tights. It goes all the way up to her buttocks. Not exclusive.
All right, Enfield game. Arc Knights Enfield?
Yes, this is the one that's being advertised to me nonstop. And
okay.
I thought Arc Knights was a Batman thing, so I originally.
That's Arkham Knights.
Yeah, but dude, you could totally see like a game being like, 20 years deep in products, and they're just like Arc Knights. Yeah, okay, who gives a shit? It was once Arkham. We're shortening it now because we found a really cool way to make the A wide for our logo.
I love when you make incorrect assumptions because it's always entertaining. It's always entertaining. I completely understand how you got there. We've been friends long enough. Yeah, man, I don't know. It's different because of there's just so many gacha games. And when you don't play any of them, they all blend together.
Right. And in my own experience, like with a Shonen Jump fighter or any of those kind of any tie-in property game growing up, is that they were absolute shit.
Yeah, a lot of DBZ games sucked back in the day. Yeah. But every once in a while, you got to bang.
Every once in a while, there is a good one. And you're absolutely right. Like, there's nothing held me back from playing Grandia 2 or Skies of Arcadia, two of my Tales of Symphonia, like these games that I absolutely loved.
And that's kind of where I'm at, where I actually, now I want to just talk to Jesse about this, because I'm not sure I necessarily agree with that. Like, it depends on your social circles too, because I don't know, man. Like, I feel like everyone we talk to looks down on EA Sports players.
Well, and in his analogy, we're looking up at them because they believe everything below them is wrong. It's more of like there's no looking up in this analogy he's giving, because it's always who's beneath. Like the idea that a Assassin's Creed player would consider an RPG player a nerd, and an RPG player would consider a MMO player, because they like math, a nerd. Like, each is a tier of nerddom where no matter how deep you're in, they always consider the row below them the next more nerdy, and a nerdy too far to go. So maybe there are a lot of experiences like Guild Wars. We had comfort in Guild Wars because we had played it before, because it has a more, American style to it. It's more of a classic medieval sort of atmosphere. But maybe there are good MMOs out there that are super cozy and have completely ignorable microtransactions, just like Guild Wars does here. And we're just missing out on them because I've made an assumption in the past.
I mean, maybe the problem with any game with that many play hours is it takes a lot of hours to get a proper understanding of them.
Right, and with an MMO,
so I'd say go play some, but like, how do you decide which one you try?
Right, and then you need gravitas, right? You need enough player. Like, a huge reason I even had a max level vanilla WoW character was because I had friends playing, and I was able to taunt them that I was leveling faster than them, that I was able to show off my Mecha Strider for my gnome before they got a mount.
Okay. All right. Can I say how I would ask to be sold on one of these games?
Sure.
But I want to be very clear. This is not me right now saying I want to be sold on these games. I do not have time. We're in the holidays. Terrible time.
Okay, I think that's a fair.
In the future, if we ever do want to explore any of these larger, semi-online experiences that probably have gotcha inclusions, I would want to know which one is considered to have one of the better, above the cut in quality of which one has like the best narrative, and which one also puts effort into showing that narrative off. Because that's like what I'm struggling with Warframe right now. People calling in on FaceTime every 5 seconds doesn't endear me to your world or make me want to pay attention. If anything, for me, it does the opposite. It makes me go, oh, this feels like a low effort way to tell your story, so I'm not going to pay attention to your story. I miss cutscenes, man.
They're expensive, obviously. I think you can get around them with a nice piece of art that's been animatic.
I disagree.
It works for Divinity 2. Like there are games where overall the production works. Top down, I think it works very strongly because of I'm already sort of disconnected directly from my character. There's and that's something like when we get into this conversation of like, where are the MMOs? And there is people who were like, well, they're right there. They're just not Western studios. And so there is that divide of like gotcha and currencies and style that you kind of have to contend with. But there are worlds where I accept it readily. And maybe it's just better done. For instance, Hades. Hades has a shit ton of currencies. At no point when I was playing Hades was I concerned that I was playing something pay to win. But if you line up jewels, shadow gems, coins, and all the people you got to talk to and trophies and shit, it could be a completely overwhelming, miserable experience. But it's solid. And then with my 6-year-old, I'm playing Splintered Fate, which is an Turtles game. It's on the Apple Arcade. That has gems, coins, shadow bits, and it feels very pay to win. And I was like, ooh, should we be playing? It's on the Apple Arcade, which means it's not. But is this okay? And it was Hades. It's Hades. It's a Ninja Turtles themed Hades game. And it's actually pretty freaking great. I carry pretty hard on Donatello. Just throwing it out there.
Oh, yeah, it was me on the side-scrolling beat-em-ups. I was always a Donatello main.
Yeah, well, you got that range on your bow staff.
Got the range, man. It's all about that range. Yeah. You know who sucks? Raphael. I don't want to be up there. I don't want to be that close to anybody.
Or Helldivers, another example where you play it and you go, oh, shit. This is crap. Here comes the battle pass. Did it exist? Yes. Was it important?
Listen, man, like, everybody's time is limited. Whatever reasons you come up with to quickly filter through the hundreds of attempts to steal the hours of your day that are fired at your eyes every day, I think it's valid. Like, it's fine. Are you potentially missing out on something? Yes, but you're probably missing out on tons of things. Your favorite thing you might ever experience might be something that only exists in one country you'll never travel to.
Yeah.
At some point you need to like release, just like, don't worry about FOMO.
Absolutely. And this isn't like a FOMO fear. It's merely just kind of, I've had some experiences recently in addition to these 2 videos I've watched where I ended up kind of checking myself. And Ninja Turtles being one of these recently where I went, oh, I misinterpreted because the layout of this. And then I misinterpreted Guild Wars. We got in there, and there are people standing around with giant demon wings and geared, like completely geared. And they're crying, like they're typing in chats. They're like, oh my God, I haven't seen this game this populated since 2010. And there's people advertising their Twitch channels to come learn, and people being like, please, oh my God, we started a clan today. Please come join my clan. Oh, everyone's here. Look at all the people. The game is alive. It was beautiful. It was. I felt great emotion on their behalf, seeing them so moved by our presence invading their world.
It was sick, man.
And that's something that Yoshi P
had
is
a lot of fun.
Yoshi P, the producer of Final Fantasy XIV, is doing a lot of interviews right now. He's like, people's time has drastically changed. We need to make a game that works for modern times. And I have no idea what that means, because I thought modern times just meant a dungeon in 25 minutes. I thought that, like, we agreed on that, I don't know, 5 years ago. We just all collectively, more than that, when did Hearthstone come out? We all collectively agreed that games need to end. And those are the kind of games that we're going to make for adults.
Yeah, and yet I feel like Magic's stock is way higher than Hearthstone's these days. Every time I hear Marvel Snap mentioned, it's never for positive reasons. Like, and that's the challenge of making any kind of change like this. Not to dip too far back into Final Fantasy XIV, but like when you say you're going to, really shake stuff up, it's like, what's the balancing act you're trying to contend with? You can't change it too much, because what about the existing players? Like if you're still stubbed right now at a pretty solid lull in the content cycle, like, still need to respect those players. Like they're your ride or dies.
Yeah.
So.
And giving them something to do. There's tons of other conversations, happening around 14. It's a very big topic. Everyone's trying to kind of come up with the way to fix the game. One thing I saw recently that had a lot of traction was make a boss fight, feed players for a day, make interesting class design, feed them for a lifetime. It's like, that is a nice tagline. Super complicated thought. We can unpack that.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. That's an interesting thought. But there are a lot of things being made every day, and there are a lot of cute things coming out of things like Where Winds Meet. I've seen a lot of videos of people suplexing deer and going on wild adventures and being paraded through town while apples are thrown on them. Like, a lot of that kind of Black Desert MMO crunchy stuff really works for me. I'm not particularly into I know it's got a name. I forget the name, but there is a genre that is when your fighting style versus my fighting style. Jade Empire is like the only one I've ever played. But I'm from the Fire Clan. You're from Water Clan. We hate each other. Let's do battle. And that's
Wuxia?
Yeah. Chat's got it. And
that's like the genre of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah, exactly. That's a genre that, like, I've never overly interacted with, because I want to see Jackie Chan like fight with a pair of skis. Like, just use I freaking love Jackie Chan so freaking much.
Oh yeah, I definitely. In that regard, I do like improvised combat a little bit more. But yeah, that game, I was totally wrong on that. I thought that game would be like here today, gone tomorrow, and people are still playing the living shit.
Yeah, it's sticking around quite a bit.
I need to get in there and see what the hell's going on, just like for my own education. Because I feel like it's a bad title to be ignorant about right now if you enjoy online games. And I definitely feel ignorant about it. So I'll probably dip my toe into that at some point, just to kind of at least see what the hell it's all about. But we also dipped our toe into Octopath Traveler 0, official release last week. We played through the demo. I really liked it. I do want to keep playing it, but I want to keep playing it on handheld. And that's the only thing the only reason I haven't bought it. Because I was like, ooh, if I had a Steam Deck, I think I'd like windmill slam it right this second. Could get it for Switch. I should look into that. But I didn't sit down with my Switch at all this week, and Katie's been begging me to continue Hollow Knight. So I say that only so you know I really just did not have time.
No, that's
to pick my Switch up. But I was mad impressed with this, dude. I really enjoyed what we saw of Octopath Traveler 0.
It was really cute. It was a solid little turn-based game. It, as with all RPGs, it continues to try to tackle the question of how can you not instantly win. In their case, they're going with a weaknesses mechanic and some mystery tied to.
I would argue that their answer was they didn't worry about it too much because it's a bit easy.
I'm making the assumption that later in the game there will be more types of attacks and you might need to struggle to find the right one. Yes, in general,
we were throttling monsters.
Most things were weak
90 minutes into this thing.
Yeah, they were weak to sword for the most part, and they died to the sword quite easily. But it was a really cute game. I really like their style. I like Octopath Traveler in general, the way they do the monster art. Just they don't care about scale. You're tiny hero, it big monster. You know, you fight like a drunk baron, and he's the size of a house, so you can really see his drunken details. And the whole house building mechanic, I think it was great. I think that would be really crunchy and fun to get into.
Yeah, no, it's a good time. It's making me want to get back to Octo 2, which I played by myself forever ago when we were first getting into Final Fantasy 14. I really enjoyed it, and then I stopped because I was like, oh, this might be good stream fodder. We'll see. Our audience seemed like kind of into it. I didn't feel like it was it wasn't setting our stream audience on fire by any means, but it also didn't seem like y'all actively hated it. So I could see more Octopath at some point down the road.
Yeah, it's a different.
Probably won't be Octopath 0 because I think I love village building. I think we would just watch views fall off a cliff the second I started building a village.
Yeah, completely unrelated to good game or not. Like, there is a part of the game where you start building a village and picking up wood, and I don't even want an audience for that part. I need to go pick up.
A good game is not always a good stream game.
I picked up 8 wood. I need 10. I don't need anyone witnessing me turning my ass around to go back to the woods to get 2 more sticks.
Shit, yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah. It's okay when we do Satisfactory because that's the entire game.
Yeah, everyone knows.
If you're tuning into a Satisfactory stream, you know what you're getting into.
Yep, exactly. No, it's.
But yeah,
it was really solid. I was really impressed. Cozy turn-based. I saw a comment.
Oh no!
I saw a comment about active time battle, Garrett. That it.
Dude, have you read the TikTok comments?
I have not read.
It's unhinged, my dude.
There was one that I saw that active time battle is turn-based because it represents the passage of turns happening in the background. And and I'm paused right now, even though time's going by because you took a picture. It's just because that's not what's happening.
It's not what's happening. All right, let's hold on. Set a 5-minute timer. All right, there's a 5-minute timer now going. We get 5 minutes to complain. This week's complaint about active time battle has happened. Oh, by the way, my favorite comment on TikTok, Kyle.
Okay, what was it?
What was these guys don't know what the T in ATB stands for? And I just started yelling at my phone alone in my studio, and Katie had to ask what was going on. I'm like, the T stands for time.
It stands for time.
It's not for turn.
No.
You dildo.
The active turn. Like, the fact that, and I've even had people try to come at me from my own angle, which I really do appreciate. Like, someone hey, you know how in D&D each turn is 6 seconds? Well, what if, it's just that turn being played by over the course of 6 seconds.
But the fucking monster doesn't get 6 additional seconds because you can't decide what you want to do.
That doesn't matter. The point to me is that time is moving. It doesn't matter if you like it or not. Time is in motion. Now, a turn-based racing game would actually be kind of fun to see. I think there's a lot of ways we could explore this idea, and there's a lot of ways turns have been represented and messed with over the course of games, whether it's a KOTOR where everyone's on their own turn, or you're playing in a 3D space like a CRPG where everyone's on the same clock, but you're still taking a real-time active pause turn. But then we call it active pause. It's a whole different thing. But to Octopath's credit, it was true turn-based. Maybe there's a real word for this where we can really just kind of say officially they made a turn-based. It's 100% turn-based. There is initiative. I don't know if that factors
a few
in.
friends of my life that I've talked to that are not already part of the Discord, I have been using the term actually turn-based. I've been telling them, no, it's just like it's an actually turn-based game. Like it's what you think of when you think of turn-based. If you have to explain for more than 2 seconds how your turn-based system works, it's not traditionally turn-based. So yeah, like Octopath Zero is what you think of when you think of turn-based.
But maybe I just think I'm willing to change. I just need some evidence. Like I need to know that turn-based moved on without me. Like that what we consider a turn is fundamentally different than what I consider a turn. I can do this.
No, but the argument I've been having with folks that are like trying to gotcha me because they're like, well, it is turns because you just have to wait for your bar to fill up. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm taking a turn, but the freaking enemies aren't. They get to take as many turns as they want. They'll just keep pummeling you while you think about what you want to do.
Well, if you get your turn and they have their turn and they're on clocks, I get the semantics, but I think there is something worth. We have to be able to say like turn-based like. We need to Souls like this. We need to say turn-based like.
Yeah. Rythian in Twitch chat says you're totally correct that it hasn't been fully turn-based except for 10 since FF3. But I think when people say they miss turn-based combat, they're probably lumping ATB and turn-based into one bucket. I think that's fair. That's totally fair. And while we got some comments that said that, the majority of the comments are just defending ATB, and some of them hilariously so.
And maybe that's
there are folks out there that think T stands for turn in ATB, which was amusing to me. And there's other folks that don't know that even when you turn on wait, you still get kicked in the teeth unless you click on a sub menu.
Well, and maybe it's like at the heart of this, it's an anti-action mechanic. Like the crunchiness of even whether it's turn-based or active turn-based, it's all in one pile that they personally enjoy. You know, Ryder personally enjoys this pile, but they don't like what Clive's doing in FF16. And so that's the most direct straight line that you can draw there and divide it in half.
Yeah. And it's not the conversation I think we meant to be having. We have 20 seconds left on ATB. Any final thoughts, Kyle?
Sound like you were about to finish it out, so I welcome you.
Well, I was about to change the subject to just a more broad conversation of like I don't want to go too far down this rabbit hole of, you know, should Final Fantasy stick to a certain type of gameplay or not. But I will simply just say the challenge that Final Fantasy lays out for itself by changing its gameplay from game to game is you may lose some of your fan base because you might have fans that like turn-based but don't like a Devil May Cry style action system and everything else that they've tried. You know, I played a little bit of 12. It felt like a single player MMO to me. It felt very tab targety,
which I love.
That's a bit odd.
That's
a bit odd to me. But you told me later on you get to do some pretty cool shit in there. So
you start programming. I'm down. Yeah, you start if you guard, I guard break, and like
if this then statements.
Yeah, and I love if thens. I love Dragon Age. I love Unicorn Overlord. Another like that another part of that kind of puzzle I was talking about earlier. Unicorn Overlord. Like I saw it and I was like, this name sucks. This is absolutely one of the worst video games. Oh, holy shit! I gotta play this. I think I had like a 10-hour demo. Big help, by the way. You know, Code Vein, if you want to add a 10-hour demo, go for it. I might feel a little differently at the end of it. Yeah. No, I think that's all very interesting.
That's just like, I don't know. To me, that's just like the fairest. What I think is like the fairest thought. It's just like it doesn't matter whether you like it or not. I think we can all hopefully agree that if you have a long running series and you change how it plays, you run the risk of losing some fans along the way.
Well, and you know what? That's
you might gain new fans, and maybe that's the bet you're taking. But
Mario Sunshine, right? Like, but there is a quote from the inventor of Mario that says, "Thank God for technology changing. I would be bored out of my mind." And if it wasn't for the constant march of like, oh, water graphics, what can we do with this? That inspired him to make the next Mario. He would have quit. And another thing that's living in my head rent free, Garrett came back from Japan, said Pokemon's for kids. That you wore a Pokemon t-shirt, and people laughed.
Yeah, more than one adult found it very amusing that I was wearing a Pokemon shirt.
And I'm not saying anyone's a liar, but I hear a lot of weird facts about Japan. A lot of things stated as facts. And at a certain point you go, all these things can't be true at once. But when you said that, you know, following the AZ...
I want to be very clear. I told you the story. I said I wore a Pokemon shirt and someone laughed at me. I did not go to you and say Pokemon is for children in Japan.
No, but it made me think about, is that true? And that's what's interesting. Because oftentimes, you know, the whole like, why aren't the graphics better? Why aren't the stories more interesting? Pokemon conversation comes down to, well, because it's made for kids, dismissed. And you're like, well, why does it have to be?
I don't even feel like engaging with those people because what a locked down life you lead.
Right. But so like, in that way, like
I like it. So it's not just isn't like, yeah, I guess you could be technically correct that it is the intended audience is children. That's fine. I'm here to tell you there's plenty of adults that effing love those games, and some of us would like it if you took a few more risks and maybe put a bit more polish on those titles.
Well, and what is true that you're hearing now? You know, you hear like Christmas, that's just Valentine's Day. Is that dismissive? Because Valentine's Day can be very important. Valentine's Day, depending on what kind of thing you're doing, might make
you just call it Valentine's Gay.
They can have it too. It's a Valentine's Day is for everybody.
They do have it too.
Yeah. If you mess up Valentine's Day, depending on your relationship, that could be huge. That could be very detrimental. So why is it when we say, oh, why is a Japanese game coming out on Christmas? People are like, it's just like Valentine's Day. What does that mean? Is that good or bad? Is Valentine's Day important or is it not? Like which one? Because to some people, it might be more expensive or more important than Christmas.
I don't think anyone's trying to. That sounds like what you're bringing to the equation. It's important for you to understand if that's more important or less important. The people who are telling you it's less like Christmas as you know it here, and it's more of a couple's holiday there, are just trying to tell you how it differs generally on a cultural level.
But aren't you being dismissive of Valentine's Day and its importance? Like how can you compare those two?
I think it is completely valid to say that in the United States, Christmas is a bigger holiday than Valentine's, and I don't even think it is up for debate.
So what I'm saying is, and we've sort of rambled our way here. I certainly have. I don't know what's real right now anymore. I've been on the internet a little too long. I don't know if like Final Fantasy 16 or any of these changes in turn base is just because it's a Mario situation, because we have lifetime video game makers who aren't constantly shuffling between companies or trying to move out of California or whatever, making a game and going, I am bored out of my mind. If I have to make one more turn-based, I'm going to scream. Let's make active turn-based and just change it up for me, the creator. And there was never any villainy. To
the podcast, the audio only listeners, Kyle's running gameplay of our Octopath Traveler playthrough, and some very funny artwork just appeared on screen.
Maybe there was never any jockeying for more dollars. It was just we made Final Fantasy X and we were bored out of our skulls. We had to change something. And so they've been going more action because they themselves spent their earlier years making nothing but turn-based as a career.
Well, Final Fantasy X is traditionally turn-based, and then you go play 10-2, and it's like the most ATB it's ever been.
Right, and they're just like
the direct sequel to the traditionally turn-based Final Fantasy.
It's like when I fire up like Faster Than Light, and I'm like, thank God I got that on my system. Anyway, back to what I was doing.
I mean, I get you with like the what is real, man. Like how how much of an argument even is it, like, which Final Fantasy is the best Final Fantasy, which Final Fantasy is the real Final Fantasy? Put us back to the 2 split. We're not even talking about Octopath right now.
I think it's we're over a turn-based game.
Put us back, because I'm bringing us home on this Final Fantasy conversation. I went to the Distant Worlds concert, the Final Fantasy Orchestra performance show. I went to that this year. I didn't really talk about it on the stream because at the time I didn't really have much to say about it other than it was amazing. If it's something you're considering going to, go. I do not live a cultured life. I was not brought up in a particularly cultured way besides being forced to play instruments. I've never been to an orchestra before. It was moving. It's amazing hearing that many instruments play in a room together. But my point is, like, get out into the, at some point you need to get out in the world and just talk to someone face to face. And in my experience going to that orchestra, it was like experiencing a lot of that all at once, because you and I spend most of our days, sometimes at least in the same room face to face with each other, but we're primarily interfacing with the internet and the opinions of the internet and the hive mind of subreddits, social media spaces, YouTube comments, etc., etc., etc. And it can be so easy to look at internet arguments and take them as gospel, as that's the way this is. That is the only representation of the community that I have decided to be a part of. And I'm telling you right now that because I would consider the attendance of an orchestra performing music from Final Fantasy to be a pretty good sample of what might be bigger than average Final Fantasy fans. And let me tell you, if that's true, then like your average massive Final Fantasy fan does not give a shit about internet discourse about Final Fantasy. I talked to so many people there that were cosplaying Final Fantasy 14 characters that they like handmade themselves, that were weeping because some Final Fantasy 14 songs were played. And I would say it was like a 50-50 that they were even currently subscribed when I asked them, what they're up to in game and that kind of a thing. It's some folks, like, it doesn't matter if they're currently having that experience, experiencing that game or whatever game. I'm using 14 as an example because it's a commonly played game around here. But what about the ones that aren't online games? Like, there were people there, like, clearly they're showing up for the songs from 7. There was some songs from 8 that got raucous applause from the audience. Those are experiences that people had maybe once, maybe they revisit it once a year. It doesn't matter. They carry that experience with them every day. They became a fan at some point, and it doesn't matter if they're interacting with the fandom on a daily basis. They just freaking love Final Fantasy, and they don't really give a shit what some jockeys on the internet have to say about it.
Master, excuse me. You're reminding me a lot of making strategy content and doing strategy gaming. Because so often in the MOBA space, people say, why can't I get this to my players? I've got 4 people on my team. They have no idea what they're doing. Go watch a guide. It's like, well, the majority of players don't. And when you go in there and you wreck with Phantom Lancer, there were so many factors, individual factors that caused that wreckage to even happen in the first place. A casual will just see it and go, oh my God, Phantom Lancer broken. Like, no, they were countering this and they had mid lane and they took jungle at 2 minutes, and all these factors added up into what became the full story. So in summation, last week was very interesting, and my combined experience have challenged me to attempt to talk about a game in a different light. I don't know what that's going to look like. Like, I played Zenless Zone Zero, and they threw 20 currencies at me, and I went, oh my God, ew, I'm leaving. But I loved the way the story was being told.
And yet you're still playing Warframe.
See, that came at a different pace, right? And as I said earlier, I never thought that Hades was a free-to-play gotcha nightmare because all the currencies were doled out in a very logical way, and I unlocked things that I wanted at a logical pace. Warframe, you're right, is a different... Warframe does require a certain language. I think understanding that the Forge makes things at a rate that is unsatisfying is just part of that world.
That was an avalanche of feeling like I was playing like a mobile game and did a lot of damage to make me want to continue playing it.
I think that's interesting. I very quickly dismissed it because in D&D I'll have a player collect, dragon scales, and the dwarf goes, "Yoo-hoo, okay, come on back when I'm done with it in 2 days." And that's world building. So my little 3D printer and Warframe doing that, I just kind of whatever.
FF14 has a ton of currencies too. Yes, and I hate it. It's awful.
In its own,
they need to do
its
something
own
about
little
it.
menu there with the totems and all that. Yeah, it's all about.
It's not my favorite thing about Final Fantasy 14. Let me tell you that. But it also comes on very slowly if you're playing in a linear fashion and not using any sort of skips or anything. The only currency you're really worried about at the very beginning is gold.
Gold, yeah, and even then you're not feeling very limited by its existence.
No, I guess you consider XP a currency, but I think for a lot of RPG players, XP goes to the background. It's just a thing you already know and you don't actively think about.
Yeah, it feels like, imagine if you played a game and XP accrued inside your inventory.
Yeah.
It might be a little confused and need some enlightening as to how that's going to work out.
Yeah. Anyway, I loved and adored Guild Wars 1 and Octopath Traveler 0. I think they're great. I kind of had knives out for Octopath Traveler 0 too, because I heard it was adapted from a mobile game, and I was like, oh no, it's great. It's wonderful. If you think you might like this, you'll probably like it. You should go pick it up. On the realm of what we've been watching, how much do you want to be signed up to defend something you like? And how much can I gush about something I love?
Well, you're finding me in an odd space today of understanding and curiosity. So,
okay,
I think cool. I'll go pretty easy on you.
Do you want the gushing, or do you want the hey, I watched the thing I know you like and I don't get it?
All right, let's get it over with. While I'm feeling generous.
I think I'm out on Jujutsu Kaisen.
Okay.
I think I'm out. I'm 10 episodes in, and I am properly bored. I don't get it. I just plain don't get it.
I mean,
I don't know the attraction. I couldn't even tell you what the plot is.
Do you think the fights are sweet? Like, do you want to see more fights?
I think the animation is bad. Yeah, I have not been impressed. I don't. Yeah, watch Gojo fight the volcano guy, and dude, that was mid.
Nothing about that seemed kind of cool to you.
No.
Okay.
No, I like the way they drew his eyes. That was cool.
Damn. Yeah, I guess it's just a miss.
They spent more time explaining the changing of the biomes than actually doing anything cool in the biomes, and I was furious.
And at 10, you would have gotten to the first little tournament arc, right?
Is there a tournament arc? A buff guy showed up.
Yeah,
who actually made me laugh.
And a panda.
Like one of the panda's funny. Who's
okay.
the buff dude?
Okay,
that fight was some of the worst animation I've seen all year. The buff guy beating up the dark-haired student. That reminded me of Outlaw Star, which was like the first time in my life I noticed that there was a difference in animation teams on episodes.
Interesting.
But yeah. I really don't get it, man. Why are there so many characters, and where are we going? Like, I feel like they haven't even established an arc. I'm very lost.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you add characters so you can have things happen to them. But sounds like it's just kind of a miss. Yeah, it's very much the way I feel about DBZ. Like, it just sounds like you didn't like the way it was going about what it was doing, and you didn't like the way everything was looking. You can't argue.
I
want to
like it. Like I'm like, oh, Gojo's cool. I want to see what happens next. But they made a big deal about his fight, and I didn't think it was that great.
There are a lot of people who think it's overrated, obviously, and that brings with it a desire to fight. I think when you call something overrated, but I think there's a lot of people who agree with the statement that your main character's primary motivation is his grandpa once said, "Be nice," and
that's even fallen by the wayside by like the 5th episode. They're not even focusing on that, and hell, that character's barely around, which to me is part of the why are we still introducing characters? Because I feel like I barely spent time with the ones you've already introduced.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I really did feel like I was enjoying the animation, and it goes places, and I don't think you've hit the best parts.
I got real mixed. So I did tweet out. I was like, hey, does this get good? Because so far I don't get it. And it was almost 50-50 across the board of people saying it is intensely straightforward shonen. But the other 50% of responses I got were like, oh my God, it subverts shonen so much. And I'm like, really? 'Cause so far, I feel like it is paint by numbers shonen.
I think I can't. If you keep going, I think you're just signing yourself up for a bad time.
Okay.
Because I was already sold. Like the second Clapman showed up, I was already like giddy.
Who's Clapman?
The buff guy.
Oh,
if we're talking about the buff guy.
That was a second dose of anger after being let down by the Gojo fight, because that whole episode I thought just like was very poorly animated.
Weird.
And that surprised me, because I was like, Kyle went on this is years ago. Like, I think this was an off-topic conversation on a completely different podcast, but I remember when season 2 of One Punch Man came out. I don't think I've ever heard you more furiously shit on something in my life than the animation of Octopath One Punch Man 2. And I'm like, dude, I'm watching these students fight, and it is like the worst animation I've seen all year.
Because if you made it to 10, you saw my favorite character, Nanami, the guy with the tie.
I do like him, and I want to see more. But you're on to the next. He did seem cool, and also I was going to say, I kind of forgot. I was going to make a joke that I was like, yeah, I met the Kyle character.
Yeah, did you? I love his speech about
he is the most Kyle. That's like what I imagine you think. Like that's what you imagine yourself wearing when you picture yourself in your mind.
That is who I think I am. I'm definitely more of a Kaiju number 8 kind of goofball, but in my head, if I had superpowers, I would be cool like the Nami. And I love his speech about getting older. I freaking love it so much. Even though
that's fair, yeah,
he's probably like 28 or something like that. He's talking about like having gray hairs.
That's Nanami JJK now, age. Nanami is 27 years old.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was almost spot on. Yeah, here, let me so I'm kind of nuts for when like a fight breaks out and everyone just kind of looks like a gingerbread man in the distance. And they're just like wiggling about, moving fast. Like that studio trigger, like everything's liquid, foot swings on an odd arc, zoom in.
Huh.
So sounds like it just might not be your bag.
My reaction is like, I agree with you, but I think it's insulting Studio Trigger to bring them up in the same breath as what I've seen so far from Jujutsu Kaisen. But I'd have to pull up like the fight scenes side by side and actually actively think about like, well, why do I think Trigger looks good and why do I think this fight from Jujutsu Kaisen looks mid? But yeah, I don't know. I was really hoping to like it, man, because like it's all over the place. Like,
no,
I'm assuming there's something there. But I also heard from a lot of folks on social. They were like, "Yo, I straight up skipped ahead because I was bored out of my skull, and now I like it." So I heard from enough people that said they couldn't stand season 1 but love season 2 that I'm like, okay, maybe there's something going on there, and then maybe I would follow that trajectory. So I don't know.
It feels like such a and that's why it's so fascinating. Even chat is like asking all their own questions because it feels like a real easy slam dunk, season 1 in particular.
Yeah, like I don't know. I am a bit picky about shonen though, and I just really haven't thought about it. But I mean, you and I were talking last week because you were asking how I was doing with Jujutsu Kaisen, and I was telling you it wasn't looking great. I wasn't feeling so good, Mr. Stark, and you were like, "Well, have you had this before?" And I was like, "It's giving me Bleach vibes," because Bleach was the first time I was just like, "Oh, not every anime is awesome." It's like I felt like Bleach was just wasting my time. After being a huge DBZ fan. I've also never watched all the way through Naruto. But I kept walking out while my roommate was watching it, and I saw a bunch of awesome shit. So I'd probably like Naruto if I actually sat down and watched it. But yeah, I don't know. I think maybe I'm just very picky about shonen, and I'm just now learning this. I have no idea.
I mean, if we're looking at studios, you got the same studio that did Chainsaw Man, but Mappa. Yeah. If I say I'm a Mappa fan, like you have no idea what I like.
No, they do so much stuff, dude.
So much, and some of it's prolific. Shit. Like some of it is absolute shit, and some of it's great, and some of it's like, why did you make Mappa do campfire cooking? And like, I'm sure they had a great time, but there was nothing in their wheelhouse that was required for camping in another world. Like animated cardboard boxes opening, like that's not an action studio. Why did that happen?
Is that campfire cooking in another world with my obscure skill or whatever the hell it's called?
Yeah,
is that what you were talking about?
His absurd skills Amazon, just so you know.
How would that work if you were transported to another world where Amazon doesn't exist?
Well, that's his magic, is he can order off Amazon while he's in another world. I'm all caught up on it, so I can answer all questions.
That sounds kind of fun, actually.
It's cozy. My main complaint is that the guy uses pre-canned sauces, and it pisses me off. Like, he goes through all this effort of making this glorious meat meal, and then he'll like pop open just a jar of teriyaki sauce.
That's camping, man. You come with raw meat, but everything else is you keep it as simple as possible.
Get out like some sugar and freaking melt it. Like, I make molasses. I want to see more.
When you're camping, hell no.
He's got his absurd skill. He can do it.
I'm defending a show I've never seen.
I watch it. He cuts up all the veggies. He's really invested, and then just opens.
My dad's a health nut, so I was always excited when we went camping because it was like the only time he would allow us to eat Hamburger Helper because it was easy to cook in like one pot over a campfire.
Bring a bat of sugar while camping is asking for ants. He has a magical bag space. It doesn't matter. They're refrigerated in there. We're not worried about the ants. He's not worried about the ants. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm really struggling with it, and I was like, I was like, I'm gonna tell you that I'm digging, and I promise I'm not just like dunking on it for dunking's sake, but like I was just like waiting for anything to grab me, and like the final straw was like, oh man, I don't even really like the animation that much, and that like it just legitimately surprised me. I'm not trying to dunk. What's the Shania Twain quote? That don't impress me much.
Yeah. Did you watch too many shows where a guy put a hand on his face every time he was being all emo? Like, there are so many things in here that like circa 2020 were freaking peak. But it is so easy to watch season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen and be like, oh, you just stole everything from everything else. Well, not stolen. It just all kind of happened at the same time. And we were all super into a hand on the face having a meaning.
I got nothing. It makes me want to go deeper because there was a time in my life where the greatest sin you could commit in anime was using 3D. And I am approaching a world where I think I would just tell you my favorite anime of all time is Chainsaw Man. And it uses tons of 3D. And I'm watching Jujutsu Kaisen, and I'm not just catching any 3D. And yet, I find its animation far less compelling than anything happening in Chainsaw Man. So, it's also just making me confused about my own tastes.
Sure, and you want me to hear my hot take? Chainsaw Man is not funny. There's nothing. That show has terrible comedy.
Wow. That's how I feel about Jujutsu Kaisen.
It's constantly 3 beats late, 3 beats early. It makes no sense. I feel like there should be a laugh track just so someone will tell me when I'm supposed to laugh.
Wow.
However, I do think the animation changed my mind about 3D animation.
Mm.
And I really enjoyed
agree with
what I
Zeppo,
watched.
and Chad is bringing up the Trigon redo as well. I also really like the look of, and that's entirely 3D.
Plus, Chainsaw Man was the one with the danger apartment, right? That was a
apartment.
Yeah, where the apartment's possessed, like they're stuck inside the flesh tunnel for.
Oh, the whole building. Yeah. Yes.
Like there's some really cool concepts and idea per second. Chainsaw Man's pretty decent, and I walk out of there feeling like I want to run a D&D campaign every time.
Huh. I mean, humor's subjective, man. I really don't know how to help you, but. Yeah, the reason I liked the buff guy whose fight sucked was because he made the only funny joke in 10 episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen.
And what was that joke? Just for our own personal
His
reference.
whole energy about judging someone based on their taste in women made me die laughing.
Yes,
I thought
okay,
it was
perfect.
hilarious.
Yeah, okay. I'm just making sure we're talking about the right guy. Yeah,
that was actually funny. And it was amplified because of the straight-laced response of the dude he was talking to.
And I'm so like, he gets even more funny if you keep watching, but like I've already doomed. It's so this watch through's so doomed, man. I can't salvage it for you.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah.
And
So you just don't find Denji funny. See, to me, Denji is like a laugh every 30 seconds. Like he just doesn't get it. He's so mentally unprepared for the situation that he's in, and everyone else around him is so mentally prepared for the situation that they're in, and I just find that an endless well of humor.
Yeah, there are people who don't find JoJo funny at all, but I got to learn about
watched a decent amount of the first season of JoJo, and I do enjoy it, and at some point I will continue it. I, however, did not think it was a comedy, and you sold it to me as a comedy. And then I learned you just think muscles are funny.
I do think muscles are funny,
okay.
yes. So
it's another one of those. It's like when you start saying things that's a theory of yours, but you don't tell me it's a theory of yours before you start saying it. And I'm like, Kyle, where did you read this? And you're like, no, it's just a thought I had. I'm like, okay.
Let me tell you.
Right.
Let me tell you. There's a point where the art style updates and things are no longer buff, and I struggled. I really struggled to get into it. Like muscle mass went down by like 90%. Everyone's super live now. They dress like Alphino. You know, they got weird thighs hanging out here and there. And I probably had to rewatch that season twice before I was finally like, okay, we're good. We're good.
What season is this?
The first one they get all thin on.
What's the title? Because they all have different titles.
I think it's so after Stardust Crusaders, it is Diamonds Are Unbreakable, I believe. And the muscle mass decreases by at least 50% between those two seasons.
Oh, but this is the one where he has the pompadour that you love giving yourself that haircut in video games.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yeah, they are skinny.
And then come
I mean, he's still got a pretty thick neck.
Golden Wind, they're even smaller.
Okay. Yeah.
But
yeah, I see what you're saying. And then we got buff again.
Then we got
the most recent one.
We sort of got buff again. Because the characters from Stardust Crusaders came back, but they were still smaller than they were, you know? Like he was a brick house. And now he's like, but like a outhouse, you know? He's so tiny.
God, I love the color palettes, and I need to watch more JoJo. The color palettes, just when you think you understand what colors they could use in JoJo, you see something else and you're like, I literally didn't know it was legal to use those colors together.
And there's an element of it when shit gets serious, and usually it's for like an absolutely ridiculous reason, like they all realize it's Tuesday and they thought it was Friday. Things will switch color palettes. Like everything will go from green trees to pink. Like that is the signifier that shit is on.
So you're all right. You're doing a great job telling me that sounds like I would also find that.
Yeah,
humorous.
Season 1 is not, and that's why I'm so like curious about your Jujutsu Kaisen take, because I'm like, is it in its own time? Like, what did we? Was the environment wrong? Why did this butterfly die in its cage? Did we not feed it correctly? Did we give the wrong reference? Like, what happened to make this?
It seems bored with its own characters. Is my current read. Is just like, we're not exploring anyone. I feel like the show's already abandoned the main character. Like they left him in a room for 2 episodes watching movies.
Oh, that was great. Yeah, I thought that was funny.
I thought the setup was fine, and then he brings him to a fight, and he just talks to him for a while, and I was just like,
it's because he could get his ass beat if he participates, like.
Show me that. Let him get his ass beat.
Yeah, I see. I see what you mean. Has it affected you that people say just get to season 2 so often? Like,
I was already kind of at my wit's end with the show when I started asking people, for their input. So, I don't think so.
Okay, because I was watching it, week to week and saw the potential building.
Could it be a sub dub? I mean, I'm watching subs, so.
Oh, damn, you did. Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. I've been watching almost everything in subtitles now.
We've gotten all right. So, Apothecary Diaries. I think you and Katie will really
watch
like Apothecary Diaries.
All right. Well, I will watch Apothecary. Well, there's 5 families currently going out. Free rent is soon. I'm about to get real distracted.
Okay.
But yeah. All right. Cool. I got the original 3 live action Ninja Turtles movies on 4K, and I'm very excited about it.
Did you watch all 3?
No, I just watched 1.
Okay, how?
I'm going to be completely honest. I bought the set mostly for the 1 because they weren't selling them separately. So it was all 3 or bust. I will never put that third disc in a machine.
I just remember
will never see the light of day.
They put Mona Lisa in that one, right?
Mona Lisa?
That's the name of the female Ninja Turtle.
No, that's something that's way down the line.
Okay, I thought she was in that one.
That's in a straight to VHS release.
But the third one's the time travel one, right?
Yes.
Huh? I thought that happened.
Yeah.
Either way, I've only seen it once.
There's a short-lived live action like TV show, or maybe it was straight to VHS, but that's where she shows up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's a female Ninja Turtle. Yes. Not a lot of folks know about her because she was in a pretty short-lived attempt at a live action adaptation. Which I think was supposed to be a sequel to the films, but there's a bit. So it hasn't been available on 4K, and as you know, I'm a bit of I'm going back into physical media. I'm a bit of a 4K physical pervert. It's great. It's wonderful. They didn't erase the film grain. That first movie, man. What a miracle that it exists.
It
Holy
is.
Shit.
Yeah, because it followed He-Man, which was one of the biggest bombs in history, and nobody wanted to touch it.
Basically an indie film. Like it was essentially produced independently, and then almost didn't get released because they couldn't find someone to actually publish it.
Yeah, New Line Cinema, man. That's simple. Even when it shows up today, I'm like, man, that's Lord of the Rings, that's Mortal Kombat, that's Ninja Turtles.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Like that's how they started. They started with Nightmare on Elm Street. And it got me thinking, I'm like, is New Line Cinema like my favorite purveyor of films? Because I don't think any studio has had a more insane run.
I had a soft spot
to start
for
with Nightmare on Elm
back in
Street
the day.
and work your way up to Lord of the Rings is freaking insane.
Yeah, it's quite those little film strips start flying across the stream, the screen. I'm getting hyped,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's like that meme of like you know it's going to be good when this character actor shows up. It's like, it's going to be good when this logo shows up. It's going to be a banger when you see the New Line Cinema. But it was a really cool experience because I have not revisited the first live action Ninja Turtles movie probably since before I had a driver's license. I don't think I've watched it since. And I haven't had a moment like that because a lot of the stuff from my childhood, like I still watch pretty regularly. I watch Indiana Jones every freaking year. I watch Ghostbusters every freaking year. I watch Star Wars every freaking year. There was a big gap. There was a big gap from the last time I watched Ninja Turtles to now. And dude, that first movie is insane. It's like an actual movie.
Yeah,
it's a real plot. It's a real movie.
Beginning and end. For some reason, Splinter's a rat.
Splinter was always a rat. What do you mean?
No, Splinter was a man who became a rat.
Oh, you mean he started as a
Yeah.
rat?
Yeah.
Yes, that is an important distinction. You are correct.
Which I don't know why they did that, because I guess it was more, because the turtles, I guess they felt it shored things up because the turtles became human-like and human becoming rat-like. It was just a layer too deep. They didn't want to deal with that.
It simplified. Yeah. Because that was something the cartoon kept from the comics, because the cartoon didn't keep many things from the comics. But Yoshi turning into a rat is the comic lore, but also the cartoon lore.
Yoshi and who was,
but the movie lore changed that.
Yeah,
but yeah, man, it's freaking good. It looks like a grindhouse film, man. It is. There's so much film grain. It is so beautifully, starkly lit. Like, God dang, we used to be a society. We used to make movies, man.
I actually,
I'm having a real boomer moment after watching the 1990 Ninja Turtles movie.
Listen, I am playing a lot of Ninja Turtles right now. My 3-year-old's crazy into it. My 6-year-old's into it. They're all into it. So a lot of my time is spent being Shredder or being Donatello. And I've been looking up a lot of factoids about it. Did you know that Ninja Turtles movie, people tried to cancel it because they felt it was anti-Japan at the time?
What?
Because
the gang originated from Japan?
Well, in the 90s, when it was happening, there was an economic boom from Japan, and there was a lot of fear that their economy was going to take over ours.
Huh.
So in the movie, April O'Neil says, "What, am I late on my Sony payments?" And people took that as a huge dig and wanted to stop the movie from being released.
Huh.
Ebert said, the only of all the crimes this movie committed, racism isn't one of them. He hated the movie, but he was like, shut up. That's not a thing.
Like, yeah, I was watching. I'm like, I can't I was surprised. Like, I'm like, this is barely out of the 80s. This came out in 1990, and they actually got Japanese actors to play Japanese characters. I'm like, damn, good on you, 1990.
Which isn't what the original show did. That was Uncle Phil as Shredder from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
He's the voice of Shredder?
He's the voice of Shredder, yeah.
What a legend.
Until he gets too busy with Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and hands it off.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but like the whole opening, like 3 seasons or something is Uncle Phil.
That was before my time. That's like before I knew voice acting was a job.
Yeah.
You know, I was like a kid watching the Ninja Turtles cartoon. I knew Yakko was the voice of Raphael because that's around the time I started like paying attention to voice acting like as a profession. I remember seeing interviews with the Animaniacs voice actors, and that made me go and kind of like, hey, what else have they done? Same thing with Keith David. Like when I was watching Gargoyles, I didn't think about that, but later in life, after hearing Keith David's voice a million more times, went, hey, is that the dude who, like, yeah, I watched The Thing, and I'm like, wait, is that the guy who played Goliath? You know? And then put 2 and 2 together. Keith David's my favorite voice actor. God, I love him. But yeah. That's cool, man. What a great rabbit hole to go down. You can please stay on this rabbit hole as long as you want. I got out of Transformers pretty quick, but I am a deep well of Ninja Turtles appreciation. Feel free to stay here.
You won't understand this one, but your Obi-Wan figure in the Dragon Age Origins game is voiced by Master Splinter. And I didn't know that till this weekend, but the second Duncan walks, I almost named my kid Duncan, one of them, after the...
One of them.
You know, I just had so many.
You got so many laying around. You might as well throw a video game name in the mix.
And I was like, oh my God, that guy meant so much to me. Why was that? He was Master Splinter. And I also learned a really weird fact that the UK named it Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Yes.
Because they thought the word ninja was too violent.
Yes. Yeah. The implication is that they're an assassin. So
that's crazy.
There you go.
That's freaking crazy.
It is crazy. It is crazy. Look at us, man. Starting with we're confused by censorship and media for children, and ending with being confused with censorship and media.
Honestly,
for children.
like the oops, you know, crushing in the machine, like violence. I had more questions about why April O'Neil was concerned about an unsightly bathtub ring. I was like, what is a bathtub ring? And why is it?
Well, it was an excuse so that he didn't see Donatello.
But I didn't have questions about the violence for my parents. I was more concerned about what the hell a bathtub ring was.
It was funny watching it this weekend, man. Like, I never picked up as a kid that April got fired because of a backroom deal between a corrupt newscaster and a corrupt policeman.
Yeah.
I was watching it this week. I was like, that went very over my head as a kid.
107, a new record. It's like, why is he
There's also a gay
things?
joke with Casey Jones that I 100% didn't catch as a kid.
Oh, no. No.
Yeah. Well,
no,
he's really,
Casey.
when they take him to the sewers,
Yeah.
when they take him to their hideout in the sewers, he's really nervous, like the whole time. And toward the end of the scene, I forget which turtle it is, goes, "Oh, I get it. You're claustrophobic." And Casey Jones goes, "What? I've never even looked at another man." And I'm like, man, that's the 90s.
Huh. That doesn't even.
the 90s.
Huh.
Yeah. It's innocent enough. Like, in the grand scheme of jokes that didn't age that well, it's like,
wow, that's weird.
I've definitely caught worse shit in like 2000s movies.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I'm like, wow, didn't remember that as a kid.
No, I remember. I remember her little like
gotten it.
pencil drawings in the house. Yeah, I have so many memories of that movie. The rat puppet was so impressive.
Yeah, Splinter looks insane. They all do. They did such a good job with like just little hints of this is gonna sound so gross, but like wetness. Like, first of all, they sold crying turtles really well. Any scene where a turtle cries totally works. But like as a dog owner, the in the corners of Splinter's eyes, around the far, like the deep jowls of the corners of his mouth and his nose, man, like that looks like a freaking animal. Like that's where animals' faces get wet. And they did such a good job. So just like Henson remains undefeated.
I mean, there's like 1,000 legends about like the last film he worked on, but that was definitely one of the last for reals.
One of the last things he did, and he didn't want to do it because he thought it was too violent. It's like, it's not really what we do here.
How funny.
And the director worked on Storyteller with him. And
love that show so much.
Eventually wore him down and got the Creature Shop to come do Ninja Turtles. So yeah, I love it because I'm a big Henson nerd, and I look at those first two Ninja Turtle movies as like the Super Saiyan God form of what Henson was capable of. Yeah. It was like everything they ever learned, all of it being put to use. Like, oh man, I love it. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Sometimes I was a little afraid to revisit it, and I'm like, oh shit, I think it might be better than I remember. Because now watching it as like kind of a film buff, I'm like, shit, this is like, they really tried. This is an honest to God movie.
The fact that it was a proper story even has what I think kids would consider boring parts, and I was glued to the screen. Like, it's a slow movie. There are long periods without any action.
That farm sequence goes on for a while.
I'll never forget that song that plays when they go to the clubhouse for the first time. Like, the music is just so a time and a place. The Turtle Power song at the end, I think it's the credit song, bothers me because there's a line where the guy goes, and Raphael, he's the leader of the group. And how did this happen?
I'm going to have to pull this up. I got to make sure you're right.
Why? Turtle Power. I mean, we all know the Vanilla Ice Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go. Like that,
Yeah. No, the first movie, the 1990 credit song is real. My name is Raphael, and I got something to say. Like, it is the most like late 80s block party rap song you've ever heard. Yeah.
Sometimes I think, did they just like fiver out 5 songs, and they're like, okay, whichever one comes back the worst is the credit song.
Yeah. I see chat bringing them up too. Like, was that Sam Rockwell's first freaking credit? He's one of the Foot Clan goons. And it's like the youngest Sam Rockwell I've ever seen. Okay, it looks like he had a few credits before that.
Wait, he's in that movie?
Yes, he's the regular or menthol with the packs of cigarettes.
Freaking
That's
way.
Sam Rockwell.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like that is his 7th credit on IMDb.
Wow, I had no idea, but that was my like violence and all this shit, and I'm like, what's menthol, Mom? Like, what the hell is he talking about?
Yeah, my dad told me it's something very unhealthy. Stay away from it. That was Katie and I were ripping on that. We were like, man, what a horrible way to not get kids to join a gang, because that is the coolest hangout I've ever seen.
Someday my kids are going to watch that and they're going to be like, huh, that's why my dad always said all fathers care for their sons.
Oh, damn.
Love that speech.
That speech goes hard, man. You could do worse than Steel Master Splinter's speech as a dad.
I was Shredder, sadly, but they were paralleling each other.
Oh shit, that was Shredder. Yeah, I was thinking about Splinter's speech when he force projects into the fire at the
farm. Splinter. God, it's such a cheesy movie, but so good.
Which I got a fun fact for you on that one. That's Michelangelo, not Raphael. They dubbed it to be Raphael last minute.
That makes more sense.
There was a subplot that they cut from the movie where Michelangelo was gonna seem like he was gonna kind of turn into like the rage case of the group, and they ended up just kind of cutting.
Yeah, that would have been complicated. I like that they cleaned that up.
It was simpler too, because you got the scene with Raphael and Splinter like by themselves when he comes back late after he gets his ass kicked by Casey Jones. It's just like it's a simpler through line keeping that to be Raphael. But shall we take a couple questions before we wrap this up?
Sounds good.
Cool. You can send your questions to the Host channel. It is in the Grinding Gear Discord. If you support us anywhere, you just automatically get access. Make sure you link your Discord to either your YouTube or your Patreon. Doznabog writes in and wants some behind-the-scenes info on our Expedition 33 review video, Kyle. Says, where did you find the set for the Expedition 33 video? The Yamaha Baby Grand in the background was fancy.
Oh, yes.
That is... my parents' house. They have a piano.
They have a piano, yes.
They have a piano, and they love busy furniture. Is how I describe it. I guess avant-garde is kind of the vibe they got going on with their furniture.
I mean, it certainly worked for the record. Yeah, no, it was a cool space for sure.
Yeah. No, that's just the entryway to my parents' home. Parents have good taste in pianos. Yeah. I let them down by not sticking with it.
How could you? I can't believe this.
I was fully out by the time someone dad knew was getting rid of that thing. So they were so excited that it was one of the ones that like could play itself. There's a floppy disk slot.
Floppy disk, yeah.
That you put in and it'll play along with a few select songs. I thought it was cool because it reminded me of the Haunted Mansion. But yeah, that's I phoned my parents up. I was like, can we take your house over for a day?
Just for a little bit.
And let me tell you, you've never sounded like a crazier person trying to explain the plot of Expedition 33 to your parents for the purposes of using their home to shoot a video to review the game.
Sure, just a little, yeah.
That is just so many layers deep of shit they do not understand.
Quick little rundown. Also, it's Thursday, so sweeps, Expedition 33 sweeps Thursday.
Yeah, probably, right? Most likely.
I mean, I think it's the only one that really has a chance of even doing it. I don't think there's any other games that are in that many categories.
Scrambles over in YouTube chat says, Grandma had a player piano that you had to just put reels in. That's cool. That's neat. Although these days I think floppy disks are cool too. I've been away from them long enough to think that they're cool again. But yeah, it's freaking sick. Just Blue Jay said, since Dragon Quest has me thinking about it, what's your preferred Star Wars watch order?
Dragon Quest? What? What's this related to? What happened in Dragon Quest?
Well, the first 3 Dragon Quest, 2 is a sequel to 1, but 3 is a prequel to 1.
Oh, okay. So it's just kind of messy.
Yeah. Which is probably why they did the HD 2D remake for 3 first and then put out the 1 and 2 combo. But,
oh, sure. That's actually strategy. Well done.
But the gameplay advances from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3. And I feel like if I had started with a multi-member party and then tried to play 1, there was no universe where I made it more than an hour into that game. So I'm happy I started with 1. Your mileage may vary, but I don't. You ever done anything weird with Star Wars? You ever done the machete order or any of that shit?
I've tried it out a number of times. I think my nostalgia for New Hope is too high to do anything else.
I've watched Machete Order twice. I like it. It's solid. It's by default is just watch it in order. Although the last time I watched everything in order, I did take a break for the Clone Wars finale episodes that happened simultaneously with the events of episode 3. And I will say that freaking hits.
That's interesting.
Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. We were, I was talking with some folks in the Discord, and I forget who it was, but someone said that their brother rewatches Star Wars every year in order, and they include everything. Every television show.
Wow, damn. This is getting
every
longer.
Episode. I'm like, that's bonkers. That is such a
dedication.
I would like to do that, but I would have to sit down and actually edit my own essentials Clone Wars list, because I love the Clone Wars. It's one of my favorite pieces of Star Wars media. But boy, howdy, are there some skippable episodes. That's like a rainy day project I've always wanted to do, is sit down with the list of every Clone Wars episode and just with a highlighter, just mark all the ones that I think are essential viewing and come up with what I think is my own personal perfect master list of every episode of Clone Wars that you should watch.
My list would be very Obi-Wan heavy in that case.
Oh yeah, I don't think I would skip a single Mandalore episode. Those are definitely essential viewing. Especially consider, dude, finale of Clone Wars takes place on Mandalore. You can't skip the Mandalore episodes. That's some good stuff. Does he watch the holiday special? I mean, if you're in for a penny, you might be in for a pound. Is he watching the Ewoks movies? Those Ewoks movies are ass. You ever watch those?
No, I've seen the Christmas special once. So that was good for me.
Christmas special is the only Star Wars media I didn't finish. I was so bored I turned it off. Yeah, just saying something because I have made it through both of the Ewoks movies.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty limited portfolio when you get to George Lucas, so you learn very quickly. If you go from Star Wars as a kid to Willow, they're not comparable, and you just kind of admit defeat and move on. And most directors aren't any different. Like Spielberg, you're gonna have tonally so many different movies. You're not gonna have a rock and pulp time with Indiana Jones and then immediately sign up for his next projects.
You mean you don't have the same feelings watching Jurassic Park as you do Schindler's List?
Yeah, exactly. You don't just swing one into the other and keep going.
Are you dissing Howard the Duck? Probably. Have you tried watching Howard the Duck?
I have tried watching Howard the Duck, yes.
It's not great.
Nope.
It's not the best.
Gex did it better.
Gex
the lizard in the N64 games.
I'm aware. How does Gex and Howard the Duck?
Because they both say quippy little music reference and movie titles and stuff. They're both kind of the same, sunglasses.
Are you saying that Howard the Duck is the first version of Deadpool?
Kind of.
Wow. Huh.
They're kind of it's kind of similar energy.
Damn. All I remember is duck condoms. Same, honestly.
Yeah.
All I remember about Howard the Duck now is the cameo at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, yeah. Yeah, some weird shit in there. But that was also that era of weird shit. So luckily it didn't stand out much.
Okay, so we're both boring in order fans. Just numbered order.
I would start with New Hope and then do the reveals on the back end of the prequels.
Oh, well, that's the machete order then.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
So you're a machete order guy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Release order maybe would be the way to say it.
Oh, release. Well, that's different then. Okay. Because machete order is you go back to the prequels after Empire. And then after the prequels, you go back and watch Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, I've tried that.
It follows the reveal of Vader.
No. It just in order. They're such different people. There's not enough information gleaned. Ewan McGregor is not the same Obi-Wan.
I don't think he's supposed to be.
No, but there are some. Watch New Hope and just stare at Obi-Wan's face. His mannerisms are so of their time. He is so expressive. His eyebrows are putting on a clinic. They're amazing. He thinks everything around him is total bullshit. It's so beautiful.
There is clear disdain on Alec Guinness's face. But it works. It really works.
It really holds up. Yeah. It's part of the character.
Yeah. Waves Watershine wants to know our favorite Christmas movie lineup. What are some must watches for you, dude? What do you got to hit every year?
So I don't think the indecision. We don't really have any traditions because we're not a full movie kind of house yet. We haven't managed to pull off a full movie with a kiddo. It's not. I don't think it's like the screens, the attention span. Like movies just have a lot of drama. You know, a 6-year-old feels big, and sometimes movies go hard, have scary parts in them. So we'll see. We'll see what lands. I had some awful ones like Christmas Raccoons, things I would personally decide were traditions that me and my sister would put on. We would put on the Charlie Brown thing as well.
That's never a thing in my family.
But
never really had a Peanuts era.
But personally, the Muppet Family Christmas Carol is probably my favorite straight up Christmas movie without any like die hard, cheating going on.
Well, hold on.
I think right, like you can. Does the movie just have to have Christmas in it? Because there are movies that are anthologies or have time speed ups that they show Christmas.
Hot dog, a sandwich, Christmas movies to me right now.
No, I'm just saying, like,
is that where we're going?
Like, you got Ho Ho and all that in your Die Hard, and I think it's a great pick. But there is more Christmas per second in Muppet Family Christmas Carol.
Yeah. Muppet Christmas Carol is up there for me. Home Alone, I watch almost every damn year. I freaking love Home Alone. Was controversial growing up. Suddenly I feel among the popular kids, Jim Carrey's The Grinch. I love the live action Grinch. That shit goes on every Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I mean, same goes for Elf. Seems to have taken on a classics life in the last.
I don't remember Elf ever having haters, except me. That was definitely the era I was just so sick of Will Ferrell. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to see him in anything.
Honestly, when it came out, it just seemed like another weird cash grab thing, and now it's playing at the park every holiday.
I just remember, like everyone in college loving Elf and just being like, "Oh my God, please no, why God?" And now it's definitely, I mean, it's horribly popular now. So I've just always had a sense. I've always felt like the odd man out on Elf. Odd elf out. There's a joke there somewhere.
Yeah, I came around on
Endless Waltz takes place during Christmas, therefore it's a Christmas movie. Hell yes.
That's what I'm saying. Like that, I agree with that kind of cheating, and you're welcome to do it. But we do need to declare that there is some tomfoolery involved when you say Die Hard.
But you could just say it's something that is a part of my Christmas tradition now as an adult, because you're an adult and you can watch whatever the shit you want for
That's
Christmas.
fair.
But yeah, was Die Hard part of my Christmas traditions as a kid? No, God no. Although I did watch it for the first time with my dad, probably a little too young to watch it, but it had nothing to do with Christmas. But now I do. Although that's usually for me, it's like right after Christmas, like usually like Christmas Eve or no, Christmas Day evening. Party's over, family's gone, cleaning up, having a cocktail. That's when Die Hard goes on. Christmas Eve, to me, it's like, what do you watch on Christmas Eve? And for me, every year it's Grinch, every year it's Gremlins, every year it's Nightmare Before Christmas. And then we weave in like every other year. It's like, all right, we're feeling maybe Home Alone. Now we're feeling maybe Christmas Vacation. Maybe we're feeling Love Actually. Like that's not in every year, but I do really like them, and they get in the mix sometimes. So I watched A Christmas Story so many times growing up. I have no interest in revisiting it.
It was never part of my tradition, but I'm aware of,
That's my mom's favorite, man. She loves that movie.
From the outside, the memes are kind of miserable. Like, it just this poor kid, he's trapped in his own house. He gets a gun. There's a disembodied leg. Like, it's really bothersome shit. You know, walking through Target and seeing that cover is so ugly. It's one of the most hideous movie covers ever made. And I include, like, They Live in that. Like, it's a haunting image.
It's just the era of when it was made. I think I'm almost enough years past it that I could revisit it, but I'm not quite there yet. Same goes with like the Santa Claus. That was like,
I watched that too many times.
It was just on too much as a kid.
Yeah,
like, I've seen it enough. I'm good. But
and then you just. I don't know. That movie was always kind of weird. Like having to be like, "Hey, Dad, why does he call that lady nice when he walks by her?" Like it was a weird movie. And then the kid, then the weenie whistle. It's just
I don't know. The weenie whistle's pretty funny.
That era of time was like someone had emotional trauma and they need to make it everybody else's problem. And they made it a Christmas movie. Like whoever made Santa Claus is working through something big, and they need to share it. And I hope.
I think. I mean, A Christmas Story wasn't the year it takes place wasn't when it was made. It was nostalgic for our parents' generation.
I'm talking about the Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Oh, you're talking about the Santa Claus.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Tim Allen. That's a weird movie. As a kid, you know, he has to magically take over Santa's job, and you're kind of like, okay, that's cool. But
don't know about that.
But the rest of it, about like the joint custody and all that, like it's a strange film.
We were going through some shit in the 90s, man. the 90s peaked with like new metal. We were going through it. We were really struggling with the best economy our country's had in our lifetime. It was such a hard time to
it was tough,
be able to get a job easly and afford a house.
Yeah, well, exactly. You know, Santa being on your rooftop, it was just so relatable because everyone had a rooftop, you know? Had to make that movie.
Hold on. Well, if you made the Santa Claus for Gen Z, what would it be? Would it be Santa landing on your apartment?
Well, okay, so yeah, you get social media involved, right? And so
oh my God.
She's in love with the idea. So Santa never tweeted her back growing up. And
Santa's TikTok account gets banned because it thinks he's using generative AI and not disclosing it.
Or maybe
but he's the real Santa and he really can fly with reindeer.
The generative AI takes over and makes him into Santa because his company's trying to experiment with AI for their commercial. And it ends up enchanting him to become the real Santa.
Oh, and you work in Coca-Cola because they're all in on AI. So he looks like the Coca-Cola Santa, but he has 7 fingers.
There you go. Weird shit keeps happening.
Yep. There you go. Cool. We figured it out. Hollywood, we will take our check right now when you make a very Gen Z Christmas. You're welcome.
Love Actually bothers me. I can't watch all those. They're too awkward.
I like Love Actually.
They're too. I love the song that Bill Nighy sings, and we sing that frequently. So we got that going for us. I love his frickin' I Don't Give a Shit Christmas song. It's so good.
He's the best part of that movie.
But I squirm through the Alan Rickman entire episode.
It's tough, but it's part of the point is showing love in all different states.
Yeah.
It's not perfect. I understand its faults. People have been coming for Love Actually with knives out the last few years. I still have a good time.
I'm not. Yeah, like, you know, we can debate the merits of, you know, it's cold outside and all that. Like, sure, whatever. Like, we can all have these fun exploratory conversations and act like intellectuals. I'm just saying, I feel freaking awkward for the entire duration of his jewelry shopping escapade.
Yeah,
and I just can't wait to get back to Bill Nighy having a good time and learning the meaning of Christmas.
this is why I find it odd when you and I don't line up on comedy, because I feel like it's one of the things we typically line up on. So the fact that we both find Bill Nighy in Love Actually to be pretty high comedy is why I'm further stunned that you don't find Chainsaw Man humorous.
Yeah.
I find stupid people funny. And so when you put Denji and Power in the same room together, and they're just literally taking their last 2 brain cells and rubbing them together to try and get through a conversation. God, I love it. I love that shit. They're just, they shouldn't have those jobs.
Yeah, maybe, you know, like you got to have a heart of gold element in there, or, you know, I don't know.
Yeah. Exactly, Sierra. They're doing their best, and it's not very good. Corporations create an AI Santa to replace the real one after they lay off the original.
Oh,
dude, that would actually you could make a halfway decent movie out of modern day Santa is beholden to corporations because that's the only toys that kids want.
Oh, make it like a full blown like Michael Bay boardroom kind of situation, you know, like they're all in the GoldenEye facility yelling at the screen and get me a sleigh, and you know, like they're just trying to, and there's just a tracker over the course of the movie. It's actually costing them more than if they just hired a normal ass Santa. We could do this. One of my favorite things about Ghostbusters video games is when you have the like running tally of how much it's costing in the corner.
More of that, please. We want economic hardship in our video games because we don't experience enough of it daily. If you want to help us stave off economic hardship, check out supportourbromance.com. That will take you to our Patreon.
Thankfulness.
But seriously, we appreciate it. And any support you can give. Even if you can't support monetarily, thank you for watching our stuff, for sharing it with your friends, your family, anyone you think might dig it. And thank you for not breaking through my window and beating me up, Jujutsu Kaisen fans. I'm also thankful for that. But yeah, check it out. Supportourbromance.com. It'll take you directly to our Patreon. Query Elf is our latest patron. Thank you very much for signing up.
Thank you.
And also thank you to, we've got a new patron right now, Vera. Thanks for signing up during the course of this episode. Really appreciate you. And of course, it's our legendary level backers we thank each and every episode. So a big, generous thank you to Sean B., Lost Mythics, Zervon, Compside, Jedi, Blooddemon, Snugglegore, Evane, Shinny Geo, Jerry T, Sean and Jen, Vernacular Ham, Brahm, Vaslius, Main Tank Maisie, Pins and Needles, Dreadnought, and Catwolf. Thank you for your generous support of everything we do here. And other than that, check out Doghouse Systems gaming PCs. If you're in the market for a new rig, check out doghousesystems.com. I use it. Kyle uses them. And we have a code. That code is Bromance. You'll get upgraded to a free 1 terabyte NVMe SSD for your trouble when you use the code Bromance at doghousesystems.com when you pick up your next gaming PC. Check them out. Other than that, you can find us not watching this Streamer Awards, but reacting to it on social media at Garrett Art and at Kyle Ferguson. I might watch next year. I was invested enough that I think I might start watching it, Kyle.
I think it could be, yeah. We should expand our horizons a little bit.
See what's going on out there.
Honestly, I've been talking about it a little bit here and there, but a lot of VTubers I know are from voice acting roles. Like, there's a lot of good performances going on, and they're getting hired up by a lot of shows.
I defend VTubers getting hired for voice acting. I do not understand the people that get mad about it. They are literally voice performing.
They're voice acting all the time.
All day.
Yeah.
All day. All freaking day. But that's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Grinding Gear Podcast. We will be back next week. But if you're watching live, we'll be back tomorrow with Final Fantasy IV. We will be live on JoeCat's channel Wednesday for Quizzical Engagement.
Hell yeah.
We will be live twice on Thursday. We'll be doing the first half of our dispatch stream because that was the patron's choice. That's what our patrons voted on, and that's what we'll be playing. That night we'll be live co-streaming the Game Awards, and then we'll be back on Friday to make sure we actually finish dispatch for part 2.
Yes. Episode 4 through 8 on Friday.
Kyle, I just found out there's a timer to make decisions, and I fear for our joint playthrough.
All of them? Surely not. All decisions? Or just some decisions? What decisions?
Some, I think.
Interesting. I'm okay with that.
I'm nervous.
We're definitely. I definitely recommend we set a 20-minute timer at the end of each episode.
Everyone's saying be afraid of chat. I am afraid of getting into an honest to God argument with you. I just don't see a world where you and I quickly agree on most things.
I don't know. I don't know what we're going to be.
It's possible. Oh, thank God, it's possible. Okay.
I really don't know.
Well, good thing we're playing an active time battle Final Fantasy game right now. It has prepped us for our dispatch playthrough.
We're ready. Yes.
You have to press an extra button to make it pause. So,
okay, you can pause. All right.
Wonderful. Awesome. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Grinding Gear Podcast. Until next time, GG.
Take care.
And chat, we're in the after show. What's up? How you doing?
Hello.
How you feeling?
Hello. Hi, everybody.
I wrote down a timestamp. Let me find the timestamp. Yeah. All right. You're okay? Just okay? All right. We can work on that. We can bring it up. Break out the brandy and the cigars.
Robo Rally is a racing game.
Did you bring up racing games? Why was everyone bringing up racing games?
I was curious if there was any turn-based racing games. Looks like Robo Rally is a board game. That was another thing. Someone asked me, what would I like for Christmas? And I was like, I'd like some, money for more tabletop RPG books. But then I realized it's a normie conversation, and I was going to get Barnes and Noble, and then I'd be like, oh no, it's 3 times the price. I could totally get this somewhere else much cheaper. I don't want to ask for this.
What did that have to do with it being a normie conversation?
Oh, because it was my mom. They asked what I wanted for Christmas, and I was like, oh shit, get me a book gift card. I want books. But I knew
my poor mom. I am leaving her out to dry for Christmas ideas. She takes it so seriously too. I really can't stress how many times I've had to tell my chat. I've tried to with all the love in my heart be like, Mom, we're adults. When we need something, we tend to just kind of pick it up.
See, that's why I said a close.
But she just loves getting gifts for us.
Yeah, that's why I said clothes because I can't write it off as a business expense, so might as well get it as a gift. Yeah.
It's I know I'm letting her down, and I don't know how to be better about this. But I know I just destroyed her the other day because we were, I call my mom at least once a week if we don't see each other, and we just kind of talk, and so we were catching up, and mutual friends of ours are also for some reason in Japan right now, and they talked to mom. It's like another family that we're all friends with collectively, and so the mom of that family is just blasting, just blowing up my mom's phone with photos from Japan, and so we got on the subject of Japan, and then I'm sure she thought she was being sly, but not so slyly. My mom just starts asking about all the singular items that I enjoyed while I was in Japan. She's like, well, do you have the little noodle bowls with the slot for your chopsticks? And I was like, well, I have bowls and I have chopsticks.
That's cute. She's
like, yeah, but what about the one with the slot? And I'm like, I mean, I guess I don't have that specifically, but I don't really need it. We're good. And she was asking about what type of she's like, do you have a sake set? I was like, yeah, no, we've had a sake set for a really long time.
That's where I learned tea candles are actually for tea.
It just yeah. Oh yeah, I was not prepared for how many damn tea candles I was going to experience while in Japan. That was a constant there. Yeah, and then finally at a certain point, I was like, yeah, Mom, I'm sorry if you were fishing for Christmas ideas. And she's like, you're a real pain in the butt. You know that, Garrett? I'm like, yeah.
She tried real hard.
I'm sorry. It's so sweet that they fish like that. Well, I always just tell them, there's a very obvious consumable that you can always get us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's alcohol. And she's just like, I feel weird buying alcohol for you as your parent. And then I'm like,
I know that's a generational thing.
I was just like, I don't know what to tell you. Because it's not like we're always, passed out in an alley. We like making cocktails and you need a lot of different ingredients. But also, I drink with my parents fairly regularly.
Yeah.
They are more than happy to have a drink with us.
Yeah. No, there's just that little extra barrier generationally.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's super cute. It's just, but it's tough because then at that point I'm like, I don't know. I like to go out to eat. Yeah, give me a gift card. I know it's boring, but I do use them.
I'll be right back.
I legitimately like them. Cool. Bless her. She is trying. She's definitely trying. I have given very good soy sauce. Oh yeah, we got yeah. We grabbed some of that from Japan. They need to get you a supply of Dr. Pepper. Katie would not enjoy that. She is not of the Dr. Pepper enjoying variety. But yeah, I've been I don't want to make it hard on her, but I just don't know what to suggest. Salt pH. Wait, what? What are we talking about, Nightshade? Salt PhD? 23 flavors is too much. I like Dr. Pepper enough. We just don't. We don't keep soda in the house anymore. I put on way too much weight, and eliminating soda from our cabinets helped a lot. Dr. Pepper nonsense. Don't mind me. Okay. Good to know. I will not mind you. Get you something food related or bartending related, and I'm happy. Yeah. That's me as well. Although we're also like maxed out on glassware, which that doesn't help. That does not freaking help. But catching up on some membership messages and some supers that came in while we were deep in conversation. DOS, good luck with the Dead by Daylight creator program. I know they updated their criteria. So
interesting. Good luck.
Got our fingers crossed for you. Zora Chibi, hey, enjoy it when you get there. You're working retail and Christmas. Godspeed.
Good luck to you.
If you ever meet Katie, ask her about the cardboard present that was like 10 feet by 10 feet that hung near the food court of the Target that she worked at that only played 23 seconds of 4 Christmas songs every time someone came into Target.
Oh, wow.
Ask her about it. And that's why we don't play Christmas music in this house.
Fair enough.
It is triggering. Reverse Aquamath, thanks for the 21 months. A customer claimed we didn't put oil in her engine after 4 months and 2,500 miles with camera footage showing otherwise. How's your morning been? Wow.
Oh, well, it's really locked in, huh? Well,
that's not how. No.
I witnessed a lady at Michael's not needing to be checked out by a human being, and the store was slammed. It's Christmas. It's time to learn how to self-check out.
Like this weekend?
Yeah. There's furious.
I mean, yeah. Crotchety old people are gonna crotchety old people.
Yeah, I make them sound a bit more old. I think they were maybe 5 years on me.
Wow.
Yeah. No.
Shit.
Yeah, she wanted some preferred treatment.
Damn. Calm down, Gen X. What are we doing? You remember when you thought the world would chill out when our generation got older?
Oh, yeah. No, I don't want to talk about that. Yeah.
And then they found out how to monetize being a piece of shit.
One of my greatest disappointments is that my fellow classmates were just as uncool. No, I don't want to talk about it. I really don't. Thought we were cool.
I would like to say something in a casual manner just because it just weighs on me. Every once in a while it just hits me that I think the most disappointing realization in my life is that there are people in my generation that are just flat racist.
Yeah,
my entire childhood, I remember growing up, learning about history and thinking, it's going to be so nice when it's nothing but us.
They taught us in elementary school in America that it was over, that the 60s did it, we won.
Yes!
And we didn't have to deal with that ever again.
Yeah.
The passage of time, we're good.
Yeah.
Freaking disappointing.
Yep. And yet, like, even in media that like hinted at the existence of modern day racism, like Tom Clancy even made it seem almost like a fantasy level fictional threat. And then you're just like, oh no, yeah, it's just a bunch of pieces of shit that are my age. Yeah. I'm a piece of shit, but that's just with anime opinions. So, it's not quite on the same level.
Not quite.
Yeah. Pins and Needles said spin is spider in Dutch. The more you know. Oh.
Huh. Yeah, I guess it didn't make sense why he was called spin outside of spinning a web, so.
But he doesn't have Dutch. He's not a Dutch character.
I don't know. Yeah, I actually don't know about that part. I don't know about that part.
Huh. Okay. Well, the more I know. Harude Monstrife said, forget that saying being proud of your friends. Oh, yeah. I mean, I kind of get it. Like, if you got to hang up with the word, like, sure, make it your own. But I don't lose sleep over it. But every once in a while, I think about it because I heard it once and I thought it was odd. The whole, you can't be proud of someone because you're not their parent. So you can be proud of someone.
I get it. It suggests a certain ownership of their success. I understand the feeling.
Yeah. Zico, sorry for missing your super earlier. Turned 30 yesterday, so I had a small pizza party and did nothing else. Yo, first
cozy.
Off, hell yeah. Welcome to your 30s. Third,
30s.
I'm just going through first, second, third offs. When my pre-order of the 4K collection of the Ninja Turtle movies showed up, because, by the way, I pre-ordered it like 4 or 5 months ago, because it's from a creator of physical media called Arrow Video, and a lot of their shit sells out and then ends up on eBay for like 4x the cost.
Sure.
So when I heard that they were doing the transfer, also their 4K transfers are very good, so they have a good reputation. So when I heard that they were doing the transfer, I was like, I want this. I really freaking want this. So I pre-ordered it. And this was like 4 months ago. So I totally forgot about it. And it just showed up at my door.
Oh, that's fun.
And it was Friday. And Katie had like just food YouTube going. And some dude I've never seen before was like reviewing all New York pizza.
Okay. All right.
Ninja Turtles had just shown up. Are you seeing where I'm going here?
Yeah, that's perfect.
We went to our local mom and pop New York slice spot, got a whole ass pie, brought it back, and we ate pizza while watching Ninja Turtles. And what I'm saying is that you should never kill yourself.
Because Ninja Turtles might show up.
Because you might be 38 years old eating pizza while watching the 1990 live-action Ninja Turtles movie, and everything will be okay.
I see what you mean.
I had a bad week.
I see.
Not that bad. I wasn't.
Okay. I was here. I can confirm this.
Yeah. But last week was rough. Last week was not a great week. I had a Thursday that literally was one of those days where your spouse goes, how'd your day go? And you just couldn't even for a second hide that it didn't go well. That was my Thursday. And so Friday was great, man. I had so much fun doing the live letter stream with you.
That was chill.
And then dogs freak out. I walk outside and there's just a collection of movies that I was excited to get, and not to be materialistic, but pizza and Ninja Turtles can heal a pretty shit week. I'm going to tell you right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a good time. Oh, all right. I know I saw these ones because it's Vernacular Ham contributing to the VTuber Fund. I remember this. Yep. KMCA, super. Just watch my YouTube review thingy. You guys are number 2, really number 1. The other channel is work background music. So take my money.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for self-editing. Hell freaking yeah, KMCA. Thank you. I still cannot access mine. It doesn't exist.
I don't know what to tell you. Yeah.
It's driving me insane. I was checking all weekend. I really want to see mine. Eric, thank you again for the generosity. I think we appreciate your happy holidays and your follow-up. Gab Gano said, so much of my brain is occupied by esoteric Star Wars trivia. Thank you for making me feel normal. Dude, same. It's freaking same. hang out with my dad. He just wants to talk about like the latest thing he watched on History Channel, and I'm just like, did you know Ahsoka actually dueled Darth Maul, who survived being cut in half at the end of Phantom Menace?
Hmm.
And then I look like the crazy person.
It ain't fair. It ain't right.
It isn't. Wait, that Darth Maul survived, or
no, that you're the crazy person in the
that
situation.
I can't talk to my dad about Star Wars. Oh my word, Metallic! Thank you for the now fall. Super, we appreciate you. Ray Dooku said, "Hot take: GTA peaked at San Andreas." I would probably give San Andreas my favorite GTA of all time.
Seems
I really
way.
like Vice City, but San Andreas is just plain more fun to play.
Yeah, people talk a lot about Vice City. I don't know anything about it.
Vice City is actually pretty rough around the edges. It was made very quickly, and the city is surprisingly empty. I, however, am easily swayed by 80s Miami vibes, so I really like Vice City. But San Andreas is very easily the most fun one to play of that era of Grand Theft Auto. I definitely prefer it to 4. And yeah, I think I like it better than 5. 5 is really fun to play, but I like San Andreas a lot. That was one of those times I remember like going. We went to the Florida Keys one summer, and I brought my PS2 with me because I was almost done with San Andreas, and I remember beating it. And I'm gonna say the sentence "beating it in the hotel room," and everyone's gonna giggle. Beating the game Grand Theft Auto 3: San Andreas in a hotel room.
Nice.
Is that enough?
Perfect. Perfect classifier.
Are we still going
Nobody's
to make
confused.
Off-color jokes?
Nobody's worried about that kind of thing.
Gabgano Super reminds me of the lead singer from Deep Purple collabing with Uematsu on a track in Blue Dragon. This is the first time I have ever heard this piece of trivia. I did not know that this happened.
Deep Purple.
Smoke on the Water?
Oh, sure. Huh.
Yeah. Oh, thank God you knew that. If you didn't know Smoke on the Water, I was just going to be like, I can officially no longer complete a conversation with you. Vice City's for the DJs alone. Vice City had my... No, I think, I give the hat tip to San Andreas. I have, just by virtue of being closer to the decade, I like 90s music better than 80s music. So I'd probably give the hat tip to San Andreas. But Vice City has a very good soundtrack. Yeah, it's very good. Jasoini said, someone say microtransaction grind? BDO. I love that you also super chatted while talking about microtransactions.
Black Desert Online.
Yeah.
I love stories out of it. It's kind of Black Desert is very much the EVE Online of my fantasies. Like I don't really ever want to play it necessarily, but I love stories that come out of it.
Well, funny or sad enough, if you study some historical documents, people multiple eras thought it's going to be great from this point on. It's probably a good thing that optimism still exists.
Yeah, no, I think that's a healthy reaction to.
I think it's a good. I think we should probably still kindle and tend optimism, which I do think we're pretty bad at, especially if you engage in social media. So we tend to give a lot more attention to negative than we do to positive. Oh, dude, I was having at it over the weekend.
Were you doom scrolling too hard?
I was letting people know my thoughts.
Oh, dear.
No, I was having doom thrust upon me from people screenshotting people that I have blocked.
Oh, I see.
And then putting their shit on my feed.
Oh, because you followed them and you're exposed to more other people that you'd blocked.
Yeah. And in this case, I mean, everything's an algorithm now. So you see people you don't follow.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm just like, freaking, if you're going to make a big deal about unfollowing someone, why are you then going out of your way to make sure people see the shit that they're posting? It seems counterintuitive.
What's the yeah, we need the onlooker version of this isn't an airport.
The online, yeah. I think of it as like that party meme. You know the party meme, like the shitty drawings.
Yeah, the guys in the
one
corner.
dude in the corner.
Nobody knows that.
So yeah, because like I understand where it's coming from. Like it's well-meaning. It's people being like, well, the what if people don't know that they're a shit person? And I think of that party meme because they're just like, they all don't know that this guy sucks and they should unfollow them. And the whole party is going, yes, we do. It's literally all you ever talk about. We know they're a piece of shit. Stop talking about the piece of shit. That's the only reason they're still relevant. We have all unfollowed them. Yeah. The only reason we know they still exist is you. So, anyway, that was my rant over the weekend. that was my welcome to Old Man Shouts at Clouds, Garrett edition. That was it. That's all I had to say on that point. Clave, man, thanks for the super earlier. Played Octopath 0 last night. Suddenly 4 a.m. hit, but also something happened in game and that TV volume went up. Love this game. Cool. I really do want to keep. I do want to keep playing. I gotta say, between the two, and it's not a contest because God, they couldn't be more different. I am dying to play more Guild Wars 1. I'm absolutely. I just want to. Tonight, I have too much shit to do, but if I could have the perfect evening, I would just lay on the couch with my laptop and play Guild Wars 1.
I sadly ran into a bug in Divinity 2 and kind of lost 8 hours of progress.
Oh, no.
I apparently took a known bug, a perfect combination of feet and talons that meant I got infinite talent points. And so I fixed it by draining all my talent points, and now I have no civil points, which means I have no persuasion. I have no barter. And I'm just kind of like, I guess I'm done.
That blows.
Really unique problem, but I didn't want to cheat, and now I'm anti-cheated. Like I'm reverse. I lost points by fixing the cheat that happened.
Damn, dude. And it's even easier to walk away when you've already played the game once before.
Yeah. I was really digging my second playthrough, but it's like, okay, well, I'm out.
Yeah, that's a bummer, man. Rip. Can we F to pay respects to Kyle's Divinity 2 save?
It was going so well. I didn't want infinite points.
Yeah. If I want that much drama, I'll go see a play. I like that one, Richard.
Oh, that's good.
That is good. There's the turn-based racing game that you were mentioning. Sleepless One. Thank you for the 18 months. Every game is turn-based depending on the speed of your CPU.
There we are. Perfect. See, technology does advance games.
Do you think Miyamoto's bored now that technology is advancing extremely incrementally and it's not really changing what you can do in video games?
Yeah, I'm not. Maybe that's why they keep making weird ass controllers. I don't know. Like
I should have shouted that out the window of the Kyoto train I was on as I went past the Nintendo offices.
Feeling so bored now.
Mr. Miyamoto, are you bored? Also, thank you. Just going by with like a cardboard sign that says "Thank you, Miyamoto."
No, it was the mirror.
At that very moment, he's looking out the window.
The mirror had infinite points, and I wanted to get rid of it. And when I did, so my choices are take a save from 3 hours and go back in time, or just quit. And I think I'm just gonna quit. But I do need to run out. I gotta go to the dollar store and get stocking stuffers for kindergartners. So,
shit, yeah, dude.
Yeah, I gotta go get some erasers, some cool looking erasers. All that kind of cool stuff.
Random acts of fatherhood.
Yep. So if you
get after it, dude.
If you stay here, you'll be redirected to the stream that's happening tomorrow. Final Fantasy IV continues tomorrow. Dispatch on Thursday. All that's live. Game Awards Thursday night. Hope to see you there. Thanks for watching, everybody.
See y'all. Thanks for hanging.